listening to the Rebel Rebel podcast with Rory Carson. Tá sé bhgéisteach leis
his name. He brought some great names to the game when he was the boss at Celtic Park. Taught them how to play football, made the greatest of them all. Gallagher and Quinn had left their mark. Let's see that. And the game was James McIlroy and Paul McStay. The game of Johnston Tully, not the golden hay. Most of the football greats have passed up the Gala game just to play football. The Glasgow Celtic way. Oh, 38, there was a show. Glasgow was the place to go. A model of a town was football's pride. England sent four of the best. They didn't meet with much success, cause the trophies ended up in paradise. The game was James McIlroy and Paul McStay. Game of Johnston Tully, not the golden hay. Most of the football greats have passed the Parkhead's gates just to play football the Glasgow Celtic way. Oh, in October 57, we faced a guy called Jordan Levin. That game is etched on every Celtic fan. Wilson, Malkin and McPhail, Willie Fairley, he scored this well. A Celtic fucked in just 7-1. And the game was James McIlroy and James McStay. The game of Johnston Tully, not the golden hay. Most of the football greats have passed up the Gala game and to play football the Glasgow Celtic way. Oh, till you say had come and so, and to Lisbon town we had to go and play the team that Italy adored. Celtic went on to attack. We won the big cup and they brought it back. Was the first time it had been on British shore. Oh, I see it. And the game was James McIlroy and Paul McStay. The game of Johnston Tully, not the golden hay. Most of the football greats have passed the Parkhead's gate just to play football the Glasgow Celtic way. In 1998, the Celtic Barns we celebrate. We're amongst the honours once again. The Hinds that did get 10 in a row but Henrik Larsson stole the show. Celtic are the champions again. And the game was James Maher and Paul McStay. The game of Johnston, Tully, Muddock, Owen Hay. On must have a football carrying a past the Parkhead's gate. Just to play football, the Glasgow Celtic way. Come on, let's see it. And the game was James McGrory and Paul McStay. Game of Johnston, Tully, Muddock, Owen Hay. Must have a football carrying half past up the Gallagate. Just to play football, the Glasgow Celtic way. Just to play football, the Glasgow Celtic way.
Well, folks, how you all doing? Good afternoon. Slightly earlier today, as normal. So we're starting today an hour earlier, plus we're losing an hour, unfortunately. But just with the match being on, there's nothing we can really do. So I didn't really want to have the show on at the normal time and risk basically nobody watching, because everybody's watching the cup quarter final. So yeah, folks, welcome along. So we're here till 12 till 3 today, just before kick off of the match. So we'll maybe have a few more extra Celtic songs on today. Don't normally do a lot. So yep. Any requests, folks, please get them in. Of course, if you're listening on Facebook, please share the stream. Just hit the wee share button or copy the link, put it into any Celtic groups, anything at all, any sort of Republican music groups, put them in, put the wee link in and share it, folks, far and wide, please. Be much appreciated. So, just to give you this prior warning, folks, I'm not at my usual chirpy best today. I have to say, I got the first COVID vaccination yesterday. And honestly, it's knocked the shit out of me. I woke up this morning, feel like that I've been through 10 rounds with Jake Paul last night. No, honestly, I did. It's not a good feeling. But I suppose it's all in the end. It's good. Had to just take a couple of days on the chin for the lad, and hopefully get the second one very soon. So there you go, folks. Yeah, so thanks for tuning in. I'll just get a few wee shout outs here on Facebook first. So Phil Strayed is on, Debbie Graham, Michael Campbell, Neil Thread Golders, Kieran Reardon on, Sean Cassidy, Elaine Heaney, how you doing, Elaine? Lee Mulhern, Barney Kane. Barney, good to see you on. I haven't seen you on a while. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're keeping all well. Michael O'Malley, how you doing, Michael? Arnie Joe Mack. There's Jerry's Woodstuff on, Michael Campbell. Richard O'Callaghan, how you doing, Richard? There's Kieran Reardon on as well. Jerry's Woodstuff. Carnan Wallace. Anne-Marie, how you doing, Anne-Marie? Rosine Slack remains with you. Craig Brealey is on. John C. McElhenney there. So how are you feeling after that first COVID jag? As I say, mate, I feel like it's knocked the shit out of me, so it has. But strange feeling. But listen, more of these, that's what's going to happen. So there's Alan Chucky McPherson. How you doing, Alan? Michael Campbell. Scott Temperley's on. How you doing, Scott? Harley Townsend. There's the lads from Clover on. Good to see you on. Hughie McCarthy, Debbie Graham, Mick McAdam, Richard Daly, and I see. So for just folks, about 1 o'clock today, we're back with the guests this afternoon, and today's guest is no other than Caoimhe. I'm going to say Caoimhe there. It's Caoimhe Maher, all the way from County Tipperary, the great hurling county of Tipperary, folks. So yeah, Caoimhe is going to be on about 1 o'clock, and she'll basically be telling us about her whole busy musical journey so far. Still a very young age, but she's achieved so much in those young years. And obviously, Caoimhe is the newest member of Clover, the rebel band from County Limerick. So we'll be talking about Caoimhe's time with Clover so far. Plus, today, as you might have seen, Clover are going to be releasing their brand new latest studio album very soon. It's an album dedicated, No Criminal in Me it's called, dedicated to the hunger strikers, and we're going to have the very first airplay of a track from that album today, so a bit of an exclusive version. Cheers, Paul, mate, put your trust in me to get this on out today. So we'll jump into YouTube now before we do the next song, and we'll see who I have on here. Right, let's see. Yeah, folks, before we jump into the comments on YouTube, I just want to do this wee shout out here. One of our regular listeners on YouTube, it's Hugh O'Neill. It's his birthday today, Hugh, so a big happy birthday from everybody here at the podcast on YouTube and Facebook, mate. So here we go. Go to this one, Spicy Few. Hope you all sing along. Here we go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
There we go. It's a big happy birthday, Hugh. From everybody here in the Rebel podcast family, mate. What age are you? You must be at least in your 60s now, are you, mate? At least you can let us in. Right, so we'll see who we'll have listening on YouTube today. So there's Celine on, how you doing, Celine? Martin Heaney as well. Eamon Malibel. Eamon, Hugh O'Neill himself is on. He'll and all the crew. Who else we'll have? Let's see. Terry Craney. Afternoon, Heal. Roland McDonald is on. Roland, how you doing, mate? Love that picture yesterday, mate. The what was it called? The motorboat. You wee dog, yeah. There's our good friend from last week, Beaver Snatcher. I found that run about the studio where, by the way, you may have seen a wee picture of it put up last week there. There's Elaine on as well. She's back on YouTube and Facebook. That's Justin McQuillan's on. Ray Callahan, how you doing, Ray? Carla McCrory, afternoon, everyone come on the hoops, definitely. Claire McQuillan says, I feel your pain. I was so sick after mine last week, definitely. Claire, it's not a great feeling at all. So it isn't. Michael Bolton is on. How you doing, Michael? Right, so I think that's everybody. There's Paulie 6 to 7 as well. Need a cure. Glasgow Derby should do the trick. Joseph Agnew, Heal, big man. Hope you're well from Ayrshire. Heal. Right, so here we go. We've got the next tune here for you this afternoon, folks. This is Rebel Sundays with myself, Ro, on the Rebel podcast, multi-streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. So this is a track from Chris Carney's album Live Potter Browns. Brilliant wee tune with Wally and Danny. Here we go.
This is a song that's dedicated to two brave IRA volunteers from Derry by the name of Willie Fleming and Danny Doherty. Song known as Willie and Danny. Try to sing some songs of glory, sing some songs of peace, but in the end it's the same old story. They're both too hard to reach. People tell me they're sick and they're tired of seeing this place run down. And I say, take your blindfolds off you, hypocrites and hell, and get off the ground. Please say it isn't so. Why Willie and Danny had to go. The reasons very clear. They're laying down their lives for us year after year. 70 shots between their bodies, not one of those bullets missed. But for every trigger that they pulled out, more men are volunteer, they will enlist. For 5 long hours they left them lying there. The priest was turned away. That's another step lower. Well, the SAS bastards, we will never forget the day. Please say it isn't so. Why Willie and Danny had to go. The reasons are clear. They're laying down their lives for us year after year. Heroes were to prove their worthiness. as he marched from the streets. As the parcel boys they hovered helplessly overhead as the ride came out to select. They emptied their magazines o'er each coffin as defiantly the crowd were sent. That's another day that dawns and the guns will be out again, because Willie and Danny are friends. Please say it isn't so. Why Willie and Danny had to go, the reasons are equally good. They're laying down their lives for us year after year. Please say it isn't so. Why Willie and Danny had to go. Yes, the reasons are equally good. They're laying down their lives for us year after year. Please say it isn't so.
Yes, in the bold Chris Carney or live from Potter Brown's in Dublin with the ball to Willie and Danny. Fantastic track, that one. Right, so folks, yeah, welcome along. To any requests, please get to be shout out on Facebook or YouTube. There's Rob Niven. It's his birthday as well, so happy birthday to yourself again, Rob, mate. Good to see you on this afternoon. Let's see. What did you say? Marley Heaney says, I put a post on Rebel Podcast Facebook page on Friday night and it was removed. Wonder, was it Zuckerberg or someone else? Who's the someone else? Right, so I just made a scene, folks. I posted on Facebook and all the other social media pages during the week. That obviously this week, basically I'm going to be joining in with the lads from Saoirse Promotions. So big shout out, cheers, Conor McLaughlin and the rest of the lads for having me on board. Basically with a lot of other sort of well-renowned Rebel acts. So the first gig I'm going to be doing with them is here in West Belfast, folks. Really looking forward to it. It's going to be on Saturday, July the 17th, up in Beckett's Complex in Twinbrook. Of course, the home of the legendary Bobby Sands. So yeah, folks, on the bill it's going to be the main man, Gary Ogue, and then Stephen, busy West Belfast premier Rebel singer. Stephen's going to be on the bill as well, and plus I'll probably be on at the start and at the end, maybe in between them as well, just playing a load of rebs. So really looking forward to that one. So folks, there's, I think half the tickets for this are gone already, so they're going to be shifting. The gig for Derry is sold out already, so it's well gone for Sandino. So the tickets for this one are going rightly, and there's going to be another few big events going to be announced very, very soon. So folks, if you want to get your tickets for this year, get a move on. Just go to my page on Facebook, you'll see the link, or go on to Saoirse Promotions Ireland page on Facebook and you'll see the link as well. The tickets can only be bought on online, folks. There's no I hold me a ticket over. It's all the tickets are being sold online, and then basically once you buy a ticket you get a wee e-receipt, so you do, and you get a wee e-receipt, and that'll be your name will be at the door on the evening of the gig. Right, so folks, we'll move on with the tunes here this afternoon. Today we'll go try and get a load of Salt Lake songs on the day. As it is, we're warming up to the big Glasgow Derby, the quarter-final of the Scottish Cup, so hopefully we can regain something this year and not make it a complete disaster altogether. So we'll go to this one. Hopefully later on we'll be piling on the agony come 5 o'clock today. So we'll go. This is Glass Nevin with the brilliant wee tune piling on the agony, folks, on Rebel Sundays.
A Yankee came to Hampden Park, a football match to see. Attracted by the magic, the open rivalry. Well, little did he know what a treat he had in store. While watching Glasgow sail to Gaddy should score, playing on the agony and putting on the style. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scoring all the while. You'll never see such football. You'll travel for a mile as watching Glasgow sail to putting on the style. When's it came about to start? When does it begin? Why have they not started? Oh, when they shouldn't then. With a smile, you're watching Glasgow sail to putting on style. Railing on the agony, putting on the style. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scoring all the while. You'll never see such football. watching Glasgow Celtic putting on the style. Well, Hampden Park was crowded and the fans began to roar, and the Rangers fans were singing on the ranks of Father's War. Well, very soon they changed the tune, history was set, when Willie Fairney got the ball and stuck it in the net. Hailing on the agony and putting on the style. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, scoring all the while. You'll never see such football, you come for many's a mile, as watching Glasgow Celtic putting on the style. Who's that boy out on the wing, the one in green and white? The boys in blue can catch him, they try with all their might. That nimble son of Adam, with all of football's guile, it's Charles Patrick Tully putting on the style. Hailing on the agony and putting on the style. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, scoring all the while. You'll never see such football, you come for minutes a mile, as watching Glasgow Celtic putting on the style. Now the famous Celt supporters all want to go to heaven, to remember that League Cup win of 1957. That day is well remembered, red games were nobly won, when Celtic met the Rangers and we beat them 7-1. Wailing on the agony, putting on the style. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, scoring all the while. You'll never see such football, you cover for many's a mile, as watching Glasgow Celtic putting on the style. As watching Glasgow Celtic putting on the style.
There we go. So Nicholas Nevin there with Pale on the Agony. Kieran, boy on the vocals there. Well done, Kieran. Yeah, folks, so any more requests, get them in. We're here till what time are we here till 3 o'clock? See, this whole time that is, it's messing me up. And folks, a lot of people were saying to me, and we're going to come on later on after the show's finished, or after the match is finished. Listen, definitely not. I have another wee stream that I've sort of, I'm obliged to have to do later on. So if any is are on the Blanket Men and Women page, a few is might be members out there, I'm going to be doing a wee set on there later on from 5 till 6. So if any is are a member of the Blanket Men and Women page, jump over there later on between 5 and 6. I'm going to be doing a wee special set for a special birthday, so it is for one of the oldest living Blanket Man. So that's going to be on 5 to 6 later on. Right, let's see, jump over here and see what we have on Facebook. There's a Gary Park. How you doing, Gary? Great song, Ro. Come on the hoops. John Watson, happy Hunt Scalping Day. Michael Campbell's looking the bowl 38. Let's see, there's Rodney J. Coy. Hail. Is that Coy? Hail from Cross Gar. Good to see you on. Lee Mulhern is on. Richard O'Callaghan, hope you're doing well. Good luck from Dublin. Peter O'Connell, I suppose, none of that tip hurling nonsense now. Limerick is where the cup is at. Listen, yes, Peter, you're having your day at the minute, CSR, but listen, you know Tipperary definitely is the home of hurling, so it is, especially down there in them parts, so it is. You've just got a few lucky years, so you have now, but we'll not get into that, so. Right, let's see, jump over to YouTube. Let's see what we have. Right, basically it looks like Hugh was on the beer last night, was he, for his birthday, celebrating him. I wish I could, mate. Well done. Right, let's see what we're going to do next. We're going to do a track here from a great album from it's called Planksty Folk live at Rosie Joe's in Derry, so it is. I see Martin and he says, share the link for that show later, please. Not everyone, maybe see, I can't share the link for it, Martin. It's a private page, so it is. So basically only if you're on, and yeah, that's like a sort of invite only on that group, so you can only get on to it if you're a member of the page. So that's why I'm not really advertising it. Probably shouldn't actually even be saying it, but just so if you do ask me later on, go on and do a set after the match is finished. That's why I can't do it, because of my obligated to doing the wee set on the Blanket Man page. So there you go. Right, so this is from the album Planksty Folk live at Rosie Joe's in Derry. We'll go to this one. It's a creepy tune. Irish Soldier Laddie, folks, get us all in the mood for this afternoon. So any more requests, get them in. We're here till 3 o'clock, so plenty more time, folks. And don't forget, from 1 p.m, we're we're going to have today's guest, Caoimhe Maher from the County of Tipperary on the phone for us. And folks, a few people mentioned there about the new wee graphic up in the corner. Cheers to my good mate Craigie, who done that for me. Craigie, excellent as usual, mate. Much appreciated. It actually looks well on the screen, so mate, fair play. Here we go. Harry Soldier Laddie.
One morning in July, I went walking to Tipperary. I heard the battle cry of the mountains overhead. I looked up to the sky, saw an Irish soldier laddie. He looked at me right fiercely and said, will you stand in the band like a true Irishman? Will you go and fight the forces of the crown? Will you march with O'Neill to an Irish battlefield? For tonight we're gonna free all the Wexford town. Said I to the soldier lad, will you take me to your captain? It will be my pride and joy for to march with you today. My brother fell at Cork and my son at Enniscorthy. Oh, to this noble captain I did say, will you stand in the band like a true Irishman? Will you go and fight the forces of the crown? Will you march with O'Neill to an Irish battlefield? For tonight we're gonna free all the Wexford town. When we come back again in the shadows of the evening, with our banners flying low in memory of our dead, we came back to our town, but without a soldier laddie. But I can still hear these words he said, will you stand in the band like a true Irishman? Will you go and fight the forces of the crown? Will you march with O'Neill to an Irish battlefield? For tonight we're gonna free all the Wexford town. Will you stand in the band like a true Irishman? Will you go and fight the forces of the crown? Will you march with O'Neill to an Irish battlefield? For tonight we're gonna free all the Wexford town. For tonight we're gonna free all Wexford town. Every soldier laddie there.
There we go. That was sound of the brilliant Planksty folk live at Derry here for you with Harry Soldier Laddie. Folks, any more requests? We're here to 3 o'clock. Something definitely stuck in this folks, this Jag thing is just it really hit me this afternoon. It's my words probably can't come out of my mouth for some reason. I don't know what the hell's going on. But yeah, listen, if any more shout outs, please get them in, folks. Just another wee for information for next week, folks. We're going to have our first guest in the studio here. I know most all the guests every week have been sort of on the phone, but actually we'll have a guy who's based in Belfast. We're going to have him in sitting over here, and you mightn't see him put a few cushions on his chair to raise him up. So of course talking about Mickey McNally, folks. Of course, legendary mandolin player, formerly of the Irish Brigade, now with Mesa Era. And Mickey and his wife, Maher, put together loads of great songs you all know and have heard of. So Mickey's going to be in. We're going to be doing the interview with him. And we'll maybe get him to do a few wee tunes as well if we're lucky. Right, so another wee birthday shout out today to Sarah Sheeran. They're in County Limerick, Paul's wife, his long-suffering wife. Sarah, I really feel for you. So a big happy birthday from Paul and 2 boys as well, Thomas and Killian. So yeah, there you go. So we'll do a wee track there from the husband's band, especially Fuel. I know you're probably sick of listening to them, so there. But so we're going to have a track from Clover later on, folks. At the end of Caoimhe's interview, it's going to be the very, very first track of Clover's new album, No Criminal in Me. Today, first time any of the tracks have been played anywhere. So cheers, Paul, for giving me your trust and for releasing the first song. So yeah, and that's one of the songs that Caoimhe is going to be singing on as well. So we'll do this one here. Great Limerick song from a Limerick band. This is Clover with their live album live in the what bar is this in again? That's where my bloody head. The the Heart Bar in Cork. Jesus, here we go. Great Limerick song. Sean South, especially for Sarah Sheeran. Here we go.
May God reward those gallant men. May heaven be their home. Was in Brookport town where they got shut down in a cabin. They lay cold. Well, they never feared the RUC, nor the B-men on patrol. Oh, hand learned from the border, shone south from Garryon. It was on a dreary New Year's Eve as the shades of life fell down. A lorry load of volunteers approached a border town. There was men from Dublin and from Cork, from Fermanagh and Tyrone. But the leader was a Limerick man, shot out from Garryon. And as they moved along the street down to the barrack door, they scorned the danger that they might face. Now their fate, how it lay in store. They were fighting for old Ireland, for to claim for their very own. And the foremost of the gallant band was shot out from Garryon. But the sergeant, he spied their daring plan. Now he spied them through the door. And the Sten guns and the rifles shot out a hail of dead did pour. Oh, when that awful night was past, two men lay as cold as stone. Well, there was one from near the border and shot out from Garryon. On the moor he will hear the seagulls cry at the Limerick, Shannon tide. For he fell beneath that northern sky, brave O'Hanlon by his side. They have gone to join the gallant band of Plunkett, Pearse and Tone. Another martyr for old Ireland was shot out from Garryon. Another martyr for old Ireland was shot out from Garryon.
There we go, that's busy for their first Sarah Sheeran, that one there on her birthday, so happy birthday Sarah, down County Limerick, you know, Paul, the rest of the lads, well done. Right, so Patrick, John Jenkins said, this is brilliant, cheers Patrick. Bobby Fields, great music as usual, Rory. What was the crack last night there, Bobby? Linking your buddy, your phone to the Bluetooth speaker. Let's see. Charlie Maxwell says, hail, hail from Charlie Maxwell from Bannockburn, Celtic Supporters Club, Stirling, Scotland. Please play The Legend. Right, we'll try and get that on some stage today. Shawnee Graham says, brilliant song. Paul Green saying, on the 40th anniversary of the hunger strikes, the ball of Joe McDonald, please. Alton Cowan says, we'll check out Damien Quinn's new song dedicated to volunteer Peter Pepe Quinn. Amazing tune. I had actually listened to it this morning. There's Kate Lambert on with the Lurgan Posse. How you doing, Kate? Hey all, let's see our boys destroy these eats today. What? Yeah, Celtic Symphony. Let's see. Leo Fagan says, well, Ro, mate, got your CD this week. Brilliant songs. Oh, can you play Willie Mealy for the Celtic today? Mate, I opened the whole show up with Willie Mealy today. So I did. So you must have missed the start of the show, did you? There's Enda Dockerly. How you doing, Enda? Good to see you on. We'll get maybe a few tunes from your album on the day later on. Let's see, jump back, of course, to YouTube now and see what we have. Who else on here? Paul McGrogan says, hey Ro, can you do a Little McGranny's Bin? Thanks. That's its name. Yeah, that's what you call it. Joseph McGuy says, let's put this Rangers revival to bed today. See, Paulie 67 Road, take a half bottle of Bucky, it will cure you. Mate, not a chance. I had that there once before, and honestly never again. There's Sean Legan on, good South Derry man, excellent tunes, mate. How about Farewell to Balaki, please? Well, listen, yes, that is going to be on today, so it is. Don't worry, mate, at some stage. There is the lad from Dreams of Freedom. How you doing, Richie? Good to see you on this afternoon. Right, so what we'll go do next, I see there Marty McGuinness is tuned in on Facebook, so we'll do a wee tune here now from his, obviously, new album, folks. We gave a couple away last week from his album, Raised on Songs and Stories. So this one's another cracking tune off the album, folks. If you want to get your hands on a copy, just touch on Marty on Facebook from the band page or Twice Daily page or his own Marty McGuinness Facebook page. So here we go. This one is the Boys Old Brigade from Marty's brand new album, Raised on Songs and Stories, folks, here on Rebel Sundays with myself, Ro, on the Rebel podcast.
Father, why are you so sad on this bright Easter morn? When Irishmen are proud and glad of a land where they were born. Oh, son, I see and memories view afar of distant day, when being just a lad like you, I join the IDRA. Where are the lads that stood with me when history was made? Up from a creek, I long to see the boys of the old brigade. From hills and farms, the call to arms was heard by one and all, and from the glen came brave young men to answer Ireland's call. Was long ago they faced a foe, the old brigades and me, but by my side they fought and died, that Ireland might be free. Where are the lads that stood with me when history was made? Up from a creek, I long to see the boys of the old brigade. Told you why on the Easter time I sighed, when I recall my comrades all from dark old days gone by. When I think of men that fought in clans with rifles and grenades, they haven't kept the lads to sleep from the ranks of the old brigade. Where are the lads that stood with me when history was made? Oh, from a creek I long to see the boys of the old brigade, the boys and girls of the old brigade.
We'll go over the Charlie and the Boys here, folks. Live the Barlands, or if you don't normally play a lot of Charlie and the Boys stuff on the show, but obviously today it'll be a bit of an exception, obviously because of the big games on the go. See, so I'm getting the gist here that Busy Terry doesn't like sharing his Valgate. Just going by the stream, the comments on YouTube, folks. As you can see, we're on here multi-streaming YouTube and Facebook, so I'm trying to check the watch two comments section. So I'll just jump up here and see a few I may have missed on let's see on YouTube. Or let's see, Carla McCroy says Roe Storf is Terry's nickname. It stands for Saint Teresa of Rabs. What? Saint Teresa of Rabs foot, does that mean? As she thinks she's a saint looking after our wee Rab. Can you please play the blood-stained bandage from Carl and Joe and Val and Dale? Jesus. I'll look on that there. Right, who else will have here? Let's see. Liam O'Rourke says, hello, Ro. Could you give a shout out to my brother Podrick listening to the show in Macedonia? Come on, the hoops. Good to see you. Macedonia? What has you over there, Podrick? Listening to Macedonia. Fair play to you. Celine says, Annie, Luke Kelly. Right, I'll look on that for you, Celine. Hugh O'Neill says, Ro, can you please play the Irish Brigade? We Are the Celts. Listen, I might get that one on next week. Jamie Mickey's going to be here because obviously it was his wife that read that one, so we'll make it that on next week, Hugh, okay? So leave that with me. Joseph Pierce says, great start to the show. Ro, come on the hoops. Get in them today. Last chance of silverware, definitely. Michael Bolton on YouTube says, mate, play the Sam song from a wee Rebel Branton. He loves the show on big TV too, mate. Happy days. Listen, once we get cut off Facebook, I'm sure we probably will. We'll definitely get the Sam song put on. Shane Smith says, whack on 18 Brits. Definitely not before we get before Facebook shuts off. Mate. See, there's Helen Cusker, Hail, Glasgow. Brian Taggart says, come on the boys, let's do this today. Kieran Kesfriel says, Hail from Canada. Let's get stuck into them. That's the it's all must be on the beer these days, folks. Let's see, John Marl says, a bit of start-stop on Facebook. Well, I haven't had any notifications yet. Celtic, Hail, boys, says Ro. Gonna have a shout out from my daddy, Paul Hasty. It's his birthday tomorrow. Let's hope the Celts get a win. Hail. Happy birthday, daddy. Here you go, not a problem. Donna Prunty's on the bowl 38. Connor McLaughlin, hail. Right, we'll go to a tune here of this next one. It's off in the Dockery's album, The Celtic Night. Great wee tune. The Fighting Men from Cross McGlen, folks. So any more requests, come on, get them in, will you? We're here till 3 o'clock this afternoon. And another 20 minutes, so we'll have Caoimhe Maher on the phone as today's special guest. Here we go.
I'll sing a song of the bravest men, bravest fighting units from Armagh. They are the men from Crossmaglen, amongst the bravest Ireland's ever known. We're in Crossmaglen, the fire burns through, the patriotic flame will never die. And when you hear the battle cry, it will be those fighting men in Crossmaglen. At night you'll hear the sickles roar, Armalites are here to cross the land. The IRA, their spirits soar, they know the reckoning hand is come to hand. We're in Crossmaglen, the fire burns through, the patriotic flame will never die. And when you hear the battle cry, it'll be those fighting men in Crossmaglen. Those British scum, they do fear, never again they see the Crishy shore. Because they know they'll pay dear, and the row will leave in Ireland's bloody score. We're in Crossmaglen, the fire burns through, the patriotic flame will never die. And when you hear the battle cry, it'll be those fighting men in Crossmaglen. The patriotic flame will never die. And when you hear the battle cry,
will we see Britannia's rule driven from our land. Shocky our law in Crossmaglen, the fire burns through, the patriotic flame will never die. And when you hear the battle cry, it'll be those fighting men in Crossmaglen. And when you hear the battle cry, it'll be those fighting men in Crossmaglen.
There we go. Sound of Enda Doherty, of course, the Celtic Knight from his album Maher. That is the Fighting Men from Crossmaglen. Fantastic album. Enda, fair play to you, mate. Celine says, Marty and Hugh, I haven't had a drink since Friday. Good Friday, still sick. Let's see. Where are you? Carl McCrory says, come on, Ro, where's your beer of the day? Definitely not the day. Listen, as I say, this bloody COVID jag has knocked the shit out of me. I let him on a few paracetamol in me or whatever it was, my mag me, them tablets. And they're starting to feel effect now. And just go be bit in the water in me today. So Martin Heaney, yeah, I seen this here last night, Marty. So 5 years ago, last night, he asked Elaine to marry him in the Rock Bar. Damien Quinn was playing and I sung a line from Grace as I put the ring on. Please play Grace and dedicate to Elaine. Marty, yes, Marty, that is so beautiful. How lovely indeed. Right, definitely, Marty, we'll get Grace on today and we'll dedicate it to yourself and Elaine on the anniversary there. That's Storf. Alright, poor wee Rob. Right, just get back onto we'll go to next. Right, so obviously you may have seen, folks, I posted on my Facebook on the podcast page and my own personal page there on Friday, asking for all your prayers, folks. My wee cousin Gary Wallace, unfortunately he's in the hospital in Belfast in a bad way. Big Celtic fan, man, so he is. And he'll be watching the match this afternoon, so I know all his family is down around his bedside, hoping he's going to pull through. Suffering a bad bleed on the brain. Still don't know really how well he's doing at the minute, but listen, folks, to say of all, you can all just please think of Gary in your prayers and hopefully he pulls through. That's okay. So we're going to do someone here for all his family this afternoon. So this is for his sister Catherine, who just asked for it there, my Aunt Majel, Uncle Eugene and Gerald as well, for all this. Here we go. This is you're looking for You Never Walk Alone, of course. Great Celtic song, and we'll go to this version here from the Rebel Roots, of course, Jordan Sticks. So here we go. This is You Never Walk Alone, especially from wee cousin Gary, who's fighting for his life in hospital as we speak, folks. So please send your prayers. Hopefully Gary pulls through it. Here we go.
When you walk through the storm, hold your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of a storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of the lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Walk on
we go. So the Rebel Roots are, if you folks, Jordan Sticks with You'll Never Walk Alone, again, it's special dedicated to me cousin Gary Wallace, who's folks currently in hospital, fighting for his life in Belfast. So please, we all think of him in his prayers. The next few days are going to be very, very tough indeed for all his family. So folks, there you go, especially for you, Gary, mate. I know you were watching the match today and get up your day up in the house with a few beers. So listen, folks, we're going to maybe do a couple more songs, then we're going to get Caoimhe on the phone. I know she's busting her arse to go on here, so she is. So we'll do this one here. Let's actually play a tune. As Caoimhe is a great sort of banjo player, and probably like many other banjo players out there, go do this one, Fusions. This is probably a song the way I feel right now with this bloody COVID shit with the injection I got yesterday, the vaccine. But yeah, here we go. This is a great wee tune from Christy Moore called Johnny Jump Up, and I think that's the way I felt this morning after drinking a pint there. What is a quart of that bloody cider he's talking about? Here we go.
I'll tell you a story that happened to me one day as I went down to Youghal by the sea. The sun, it was bright and the day it was warm. Says I, a quiet pint wouldn't do me no harm. I went in and I called for a bottle of stout. Says the barman, I'm sorry, all the beer is sold out. Try whiskey or paddy, 10 years in the wood. Says I, I'll try cider, I've heard that it's good. Oh never, oh never, oh never again, if I live to 100 or 110. For I fell to the ground and I couldn't get up after drinking a quart of the Johnny Jump Up. After lowering the third, I made straight for the yard, where I bumped into Brophy, the big civic guard. Come here to me, boy, don't you know I'm the law? I upped with me fist and I shattered his jaw. He fell to the ground with his knees doubled up, but it wasn't to say, was a cripple on crutches, and says he to me, I'm afraid in me life I'll be hit by a car. Won't you help me across to the railwayman's bar? After drinking a quart of that cider so sweet, he threw down his crutches and danced on his feet. I went up the Lee Road, a friend for to see, in the call at the madhouse in Cork by the Lee. But when I got up there, the truth I do tell, they had the poor bugger locked up in a cell. Said the guard testing him, say these words if you can, around the rugged rock the ragged rascal ran. Tell them I'm not crazy, tell them I'm not mad, it was only a sup of a bottle I had. A man died in the Union by the name of McNabb. They washed him and laid him outside on a slab, and after O'Connor his measurements did take, his wife took him home to a bloody fine wake. About 12 o'clock and the beer it was high, when the corpse he sat up and says he with a sigh, I can't get to heaven, they won't let me up till I bring him a quart of the Johnny Jump Up. Oh never, oh never, oh never again, if I live to 100 or 110. For I fell to the ground and I couldn't get up after drinking a quart of the Johnny Jump Up.
Yep, there you go, folks. That's right. I've been drinking a quart of that there Johnny Jump Ups of. What is the Beaver are saying on YouTube? They've injected that English stuff in me. I'll be wearing the butcher's apron in no time. Right, so listen, we're going to do this here, her song here, folks, and then we're going to have Caoimhe on the phone after this next track. So it's Caoimhe has recorded basically a number of albums with different bands. So this is another band called the Rockabilly Rebels that Caoimhe recorded the song with, and of course you all know a song come from Belfast. It's the Ballad of Maria Farrell. So folks, this is the Rockabilly Rebels with the Ballad of Maria Farrell featuring Caoimhe, Maher on vocals, folks. So after this track is finished, we're going to have Caoimhe on the phone and we'll get her interview for you, and we'll see what the crack is up there, down there in County Tipperary. Here we go.
Oh, do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. Do not stand at my grave am not there. No, I did not die. A woman's place is not at home. The fight for freedom, it still goes on. I pick up my gun until freedom's day, and I'll pledge my life for the IRA. In Armagh jail, I served my time. Strip searches were a British crime. Degraded me, but they could not see I'd suffer this to see Ireland free. Gibraltar's rock was where I died. McCann and Savage, they were by my side. I heard the order, it went loud and shrill, when Thatcher's voice said shoot to kill. At my grave and weep. I am not there. No, I do not sleep. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. No, I did not die. Oh no, do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. No, I do not sleep. Do not stand at my grave and cry. While Ireland lives, I'll never die.
There we go. So the Rockabilly Rebels are folks for you with the ballad of Maria Farrell, of course, from today's guest we're going to have on this phone in a wee second there. Caoimhe Maher on vocals are for you. Absolutely fantastic, folks. Who says, so we're going to have Caoimhe on the phone here now, and we'll do a bit of an interview. We'll play one wee track in the middle, and then plus we're going to get another track at the end of the interview. And I say at the end we're going to have basically the very first airplay of any track from Clover's brand new album, folks, their new studio album, No Criminal in Me. So hopefully we should have Caoimhe on the phone right now. Hello, Caoimhe.
How are we?
Over there.
I'm here. Are you there, Ro?
How's the Wi-Fi up or down in Tipperary then? Is she hold up okay?
She's holding for now.
For now, happy days. Right, listen, so folks, that's the first track we played, Rockabilly Rebels with Maria Farrell. We'll talk about that there later on. So, Caoimhe, before we get into this here, I just thought you sort of brought me up during the week there about the pronunciation of your name. Obviously, this name is like, it's spelled the same. Obviously, we're in the north or the south. I have a few friends with the name spelled this way, but we pronounce it Caoimhe, but you pronounce it Caoimhe. So tell us a wee bit about that there. It's the same spelling, like, but it's strange, like, for basically just being another county. It's like a completely different pronunciation, like.
Oh, sure, it's madness. It's madness, really. There's a few people down here, like, that I would know called Caoimhe, and never thought it was an issue. And then I met family up around Monaghan, and they had a little girl called, spelled the same way as Caoimhe, but they kept calling her Kiva.
Yeah.
I was very confused. I was like, why are they saying her name wrong? And we had a big chat about it that day. And they were like, no, it's Kiva. And then we were like, no, it's Caoimhe. And they were like, it's Kiva. So we agreed to disagree on the whole thing. But I've had awful problems with my name now through down the years. I love my name, but it's just it's so difficult for anyone that's not from Ireland to spell or pronounce.
Oh yeah. You want to be called Stephen, the way Stephen spelled his name. Jesus, we had him on the show. People call him Stefan, Stepan, and he's like, it's just Stephen. Why do you all call me all these mad names for? Like, but it's the way he has it spelled.
Whenever I was travelling, if I went to Starbucks or anything like that, I was like, "What's your name for the cup?" It was like Amy.
Oh.
Nobody can mess up Amy.
Yes,
3 letters. There you go.
Right. So listen, Caoimhe, you're a 23-year-old. So I have to get this right. Multi-instrumentalist, right, from Lochmore in the great Hurling county of Tipperary, and Peter there has already given a wee dig in about the hurling in Tipperary, saying that basically Limerick is the big daddies now. So basically Tipperary may just forget about the hurling for the foreseeable future. So
we'll never forget.
Well, listen, so let's kick off from the very start. So sort of like most people who turned out to be a performer of sort of Irish traditional music, you started out at a young age of 6 playing the tin whistle. So tell me, did you sort of grow up in a family that was involved in music in any way? And also you said that you've always had a passion for singing. So were you always like the singer and at family gatherings and parties kind of way? Like?
Yeah, that was the way it turned out for me. Like, I've always been singing from. My mother would tell you now if she was on that I was singing before I could talk. The videos there, and I'm singing "Twinkle Twinkle," and the air is perfect, but the words are nonsensical. There's no sense to it. So I've always been singing. But in terms of the music, I was brought up listening to Christy Moore, the Dubliners, and Richie Caoimhe.
Yeah.
I was obsessed like from a very young age. My father would be my father's a singer. That he got into trad, really. He told you that himself.
Right.
He would have been listening to a lot of country music, even stuff like that when he was growing up, and the folk and ballad singers. But the actual trad music didn't really come until I started with Kathleen Nesbitt. We're very blessed here in Knockmore. We have Kathleen on our front doorstep, and can be a big name in the Comhaltas community. She's a fabulous musician, and her family are brilliant musicians, all of them. So we were very lucky to have Kathleen teaching us. She taught my mother and she taught myself. Now my mother didn't really decide to keep it on.
Right.
But she did her thing with me now. In fairness, Kathleen was brilliant to us and all my friends. She is a fabulous musician, and I don't think she's teaching much anymore. We were very lucky, and she actually went on to teach me fiddle as well. She was the one that kind of taught me to. That was on the next. So I've heard to thank.
The next question is, well, obviously, before we go on, obviously talking about Tipperary, did you have any money on the winner then at the Grand National last week? Did you?
No, I'd be the worst person to ask about because I'd have no interest in the horses or
seriously
anything like that.
Even though the winner is from your county, like, shame on you.
I know, and I actually know John Allen, who owns the horse. So congratulations to the lads in Manila. They're all delighted down there with the win. I seen the video on Facebook.
Yeah,
he was ecstatic.
Sure it is.
But yeah, no, I wasn't watching it now. It wouldn't be my cup of tea. But fair play to them.
Right, so listen, so obviously you then progressed on to the fiddle, right? And then the banjo and the guitar. So firstly tell me, who would have been, like, when you were learning the instruments, who would have been your musical sort of influences early on? And would you have had like any lessons then from anybody? Because I know a lot of people I get on, they're like, no, well, listen, I'm all like self-taught from YouTube videos or something, or like my parents didn't have the money to sort of do lessons and stuff.
Yeah, no, I was very lucky. I went to lessons for all my instruments. Like that with the fiddle, I went to Kathleen. I kind of gave up on the whistle when I took on the fiddle. I stopped playing the whistle completely and just focused everything on the fiddle, and went to her for lessons for that. And I didn't really take up another instrument until I went into secondary school. And there was kind of a deal struck between myself and my father. He loved the banjo and always did, and wanted me to learn the banjo. And I wanted to learn the guitar. So he says, if I do a year on the banjo, he says, and it goes well, I can take on the guitar. And that's what we did. And kind of the same thing happened then. I took up the guitar and kind of put away the banjo. I didn't want anything to do with it.
So I went
more. Up to Martin, I went up to Martin Maher and Eiley there in Barcelona for the guitar and banjo, and he when she was pacing with me. But I was very lucky throughout the years, all the workshop classes that I got to attend, and brilliant people that used to kind of mentor me up and along. It was brilliant. I went to the Metal summer camp there weeks, and I did music there with a friend of mine, Sarah Quinn, and we did a load of classes on writing music and everything, and it was a great, brilliant experience. I was very lucky.
So obviously, you also studied classical music for 4 years. So tell us, was that something you were maybe looking to get into before, as a sideline from the trad stuff, or what was that all about?
Yeah, I actually tried it when I was younger and didn't really think much of it. I wasn't that interested. And then I did piano for a year. I hated piano. So I was really actually put off the classical music scene. But when I went into secondary school in Ursuline, the Ursuline Convent in Thurles, my music teacher in there, Maher McNally, and Maher would be a lot woman as well, a fabulous musician. Now, she would have been one of the people I'd really look up to as a musician. She's just, anything she put her mind to, she's brilliant at it. And Maher actually approached me one day in second year, and she said to me, "Do you ever think about doing classical?" And I says, "I didn't like it, I've no interest, no thanks, I'm all good." And she goes, "Well, if you if you want to think about it," she says, "I will teach you." She's like, "I'll take you on and be your mentor for it." And I came home to Mum and I was like, "I want to do it." I was like, I just wanted to teach me. I was like, "Yes, please let me do it." And you know what? I got in for my first few lessons with her and I loved it. I had her heart broke on the other hand because she was trying to get me to perform like a classical violinist, and I was shrugged over. She's like, "Caoimhe, you are not sitting in the middle of a pub." She's like, "Stand up, you're in front of me on the stage, not in a hovel." She's like, I used to throw her crack, but she persevered with me, and I loved it. I went on and I did all my grades in the space of the 4 years. I think I started on grade 2 and I went up to my grade 8, and I loved every minute of it. And it was actually Mary Rose that kind of got me into not even the classical side, but the orchestra.
Right, okay.
Things. I joined orchestras, and she was so good to me. She brought me to all the musicals that were around that she was conducting and got me big into that side of things. That was, and that still follows me today. I'm obsessed with musicals or anything to do with music and orchestras. I go to a West End musical and I the whole thing look the orchestras.
Isn't I think your Tipperary Wi-Fi's cutting out there a bit, but can you maybe move a wee bit or something? It seems to be like you're talking and it's like it's dragging, and then they're sort of, I can hear you, but it just seems to be cutting out every couple of seconds. So it is. So I don't know. Probably a bit like my own Wi-Fi in this house here. It's not great, so it isn't. Listen, we'll plunder on. So obviously, you then went to university in Limerick, right? The study is history, media, and communications. So, I believe this is where you first started gigging, actually out in bars. So, tell us a wee bit about this here.
Yeah, so it wasn't until college that I decided that I'd try and do a few gigs and see how I went on. And there was a friend of mine, Sean Mungy. He's in a band called Strings and Things, based in Thurles. And myself and himself decided we'd do a duo gig in the Horse and Jockey Hotel out there near outside Thurles there, 20 minutes. And we were doing that every Friday night for a few years, and that was kind of the first taste of it, of sitting in front of people and playing some music. It was a very chill gig. Like, there was no gear or anything like that. It was just the two of us. People would come and, "Do you know this song, or can you play this?" And it was lovely. And kind of from there, then I used to do an odd solo gig in Paris, or a few sessions we kind of did in Limerick. That kind of turned into a few gigs, and it was just nice and small. It was a great starting point. Kind of get in and they were all acoustic. I never had to worry about gear or anything like that. So
to show up.
It was a brilliant start point. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm sure it's probably even the case now. Where it's usually with any woman in a band, usually the fellas will rock up and put all the sound and speakers and all, and you just stand there and there'll be sound check on your whistle, whatever it is. Like, I'm not saying that's Paul said that's what happened last week in Cork. Like, so I'm not, but that's what I heard.
Yeah, we're all out of practice. It took us a while to set up.
I'm only joking. Right, so you appeared on a recording with a Tipperary band, Rebel Hearts, who are no strangers here in West Belfast. They've played our Fela a couple of times and they're absolutely cracking live band. So were you actually a member of the band, or were you just brought in as a session musician for the album recording? Or?
Yeah, no, I wasn't a part of the band, unfortunately. I'd love that. But Paddy, I know Paddy Cohen well. Like, Paddy be brilliant musician based up around here, and he used to run a session in Avern's pub in Rossmorey. I think it was the first Sunday of the month, and the kind of purpose of the session was to get younger musicians in and get everyone a chance to play in a session in front of people, like to kind of spur them on. And we were kind of teenagers when this session started, and that's how we kind of got to know Paddy, and he followed him to a few more sessions and stuff. And Paddy just reached out to me one day and said they were doing this album and he'd love to get me on doing, I think it was Inisheer was the track. We were doing Inisheer on the fiddle and Into the Butterfly, which was written by Maher Nesbitt, Catholic daughter in Caoimhe. And I said, I'd love it. I think I was only maybe 14 or 15.
Great experience, yeah.
And I said to him, I'd love to give it a go. And I went on, that was kind of my first taste of recording, actually. I'd turn on into the studio and having to play with earphones on me and listening to kind of their interpretation of it. And it was mad, but it was a brilliant experience. And it was really good.
So moving on, so in 2014 you got a chance to go to Utah. I'm assuming there's in America somewhere, is it? For like
Utah,
some Paddy's Week tour with other musicians. So obviously we're going to play the track we'll feature in this here. But first of all, tell us a wee bit about how that whole tour came about.
Yeah, so that was a really just stroke of fate, really. We used to, since I was about 8, me and my dad used to go to this pub up in the hills in Upperchurch called Jim of the Mills. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it, but it's a little gem, really. It's only a small, tiny pub built on Jim's house, really, and they have a session there every Thursday. The pub only opens once a week on the Thursday. It's actually Jim who was in touch with the priest over in Utah to bring people over every 2 years, and his family have been doing it. And it was just this year, all his daughters were a bit older than me and they'd already been, so he said to Daddy, look, if the girls would like to go, I'd be more than willing to kind of say to the guys and, to swap it out. So we were delighted. There was me and 8 of my friends that went over, and I think it was 3 pairs of parents. So it was a big group of us. Went over for 2 weeks during Paddy's Week. And we just did a few concerts and we played in some sessions, and we had a great gang looking after us. We had a couple of guys that were driving us around, James and Kenny, and they'd bring us and show us all around Utah. We went and did lots of things. We did Olympic ice skating rinks. We were climbing up the mountains. It was fab. It was a really good experience, and that's kind of where the octopus jig came from.
So what age were you when you went over there?
2014, I think I was 16.
16, Jesus flip. So obviously we can't talk about that sort of tour and not talk about the video obviously you sent me that went viral. So it's something called the Octopus Jig, right? So now I shared this here video on the podcast Pierce during the week, and so I'm not surprised it went viral. I'm going to try and play the audio from this here, right? But firstly, basically it's yourself and 2 other girls, right? A banjo, a fiddle and a tin whistle, right? So before we play the track, try and explain to everyone exactly what is happening in the video, because we're just going to play the audio, so obviously people aren't going to see it if they haven't seen the video we shared during the week. So there is actually a video of you performing the same routine in a street in Tipperary as well. I've seen on YouTube. So there is.
Yeah, so that was.
Tell us exactly what is happening in this video and why it's called the Octopus Jig.
So it's called the octopus because you have different parts, like different hands doing different jobs on the different instruments. That sounds even more complicated. But if you can't see the video, I'll explain the video for anyone that hasn't seen it. There's a friend of mine, Lorraine, is sitting down with the banjo on her lap, and she is picking the strings, so with her right hand on the banjo, and she's playing the fingers of the fiddle on her left hand, which I have kind of wrapped in around her.
Right.
And I am doing the fingers of the banjo with my left hand and the bow of the fiddle with my right hand. So I'm kind of leaned in over her. And once we got that sorted, then we have Muireann that comes in, and she puts the whistle into my mouth, and she plays the fingers of the whistle, and I basically blow the air. So that's kind of the story. We play a jig then, and it's not the jig isn't even called the octopus jig. It's just the Dubliners did it originally years and years ago.
Yeah, that's what I've seen it originally.
The octopus jig. But it was actually our driver James that asked us, would we be able to do it? And he asked my father originally, and Daddy was like, you know what, if you ask the girls, they'll definitely do it for you. They won't do it if I ask them.
Right.
And like that, once we got the logistics, once we realised, okay, who's sitting down, which hand's going where, and once we got that done, it was just a matter of playing the tune in a very uncomfortable position. And it was grand, and we did it that night in the session in the house, and everyone loved it. They were delighted. They couldn't believe what we were after doing, and sure, we were delighted for ourselves then, because it hadn't actually taken us that long to do, so we thought we were great. And it was only a year after we had created the video gone up, that it went viral.
Yeah, crazy.
And out of nowhere, I don't even know who first shared it, that it went but it went just a bit nuts altogether. And me and my friends
bonkers.
were being tagged in it,
Yeah.
left, right, and centre. And,
So listen, we'll
I think
play the track, and then we'll talk a wee bit about what happened after. Okay, so I'm going to try and put your stream on mute here, just so, because basically the songs will be playing from the same channel on my desk here, so hopefully won't be able to hear you in the background. So folks, we're going to put Caoimhe hopefully on mute, and then we're going to play this here track. So I say you can't see the video, we're just going to do the audio of it, but I shared it during the week. So basically what it is, it's 3 girls. So it's one girl sitting down, right? She is playing the banjo strings with her right hand, and then controlling the strings of the fiddle with her left hand. And Caoimhe is basically strumming the fiddle with her right arm and playing the banjo strings. And then another girl comes in with a tin whistle, and she's controlling the notes, and Caoimhe is blowing into the tin whistle. So it's absolutely mad. So we're going to play this here, folks. And if you just try and envisage in your head what's going on here, but Well, if you go back to my Facebook page, folks, on the podcast there, have a look at it, and it's crazy. Here we go. I'll just set up mute there.
Yeah, it's up. James, if he's...
I'm right here.
Oh, you're there.
Where's Penny? What's this?
You just pay close attention to their arms now. You know that there's arms everywhere. Oh, well, it worked outside.
I'm ready to go.
Right, now we
There we go, folks. Well, there is the octopus jig. We'll see if we can hopefully get Caoimhe back on here. We'll get our thing off mute. Wait a second. So we're still there, Caoimhe?
Yeah, still
Right,
here.
happy days. There you go. So, folks, if you heard that there, just jump over to my the podcast Facebook page, and you actually watch the video, because trying to explain something out there without seeing the visuals is probably a bit hard, but yeah, madness. So obviously, right, so welcome back to the show. So obviously, since the video sort of went so well and the viewing numbers are absolutely crazy, obviously a chap from Denmark seen it and reached out to you, invited you to do a tour and play a few sort of gigs over there. So what was that there all about, and sort of who went on the tour then?
Yeah, we had a lot of people reaching out after that video went out for different kind of concerts or talent competitions and stuff. But Frank Seagal was definitely the number one random one, because Frank actually owned a construction company in Denmark, and he's done it before. He's brought over a couple of talents from different countries. Just little concerts and stuff around Denmark, and he asked us would we come over, and so we got a group of us, the kind of same group that went to you, Tony, minus a couple of people, and we said, yeah, okay, let's do it, let's go over. And we met Frank over there, and it was amazing. It was a once in a lifetime trip. Frank put us up in his house and in his friend's house, and we did concerts in Esbjerg and Sommerhalden and Copenhagen. We were so lucky. It was a brilliant experience. Sadly, Frank actually passed away last year, very, very unexpectedly, from a heart attack. So we've a lot to kind of tribute to Frank. That was a brilliant trip that he made happen for us, and it was a great experience to be able to tour around Denmark as 5 young musicians and play for people who haven't really heard Irish music that much at all.
So it's being so young as well, massive experience for you as well, like to go out there and do that there, like.
It was, and it was a trip I think the 5 of us would say we'll never forget. It was so much happened on that trip, you can't even go into the stories about it, but it was just it was phenomenal.
Sure. Right, so obviously, so in 2018 then, obviously, you hooked up with a band called the Rockabilly Rebels, so we played a track there from that album at the start there, the Maher Farrell one. So obviously, you also recorded an album with them, right? So this is a band I did not really know a lot about, but I first seen them when I seen a video a few years ago, and the guy was playing the cajon. Actually, sort of like being a cajon player myself, and normally try and keep tabs on any bands, with just trying to see different routines and the way they play the stuff, whatever. So I opened up your interview today with a track from the album Maher Farrell, obviously originally written by New York band Shanaghy and the Unity Squad. So obviously a song, this here song means so much to people here in Belfast. So firstly, tell us a wee bit about singing that song and then recording what it sort of meant to you on that album.
Yeah, Maher Farrell is a song that kind of came at me very unexpectedly. I was working in London when I heard it first. I was up meeting a friend of mine, and we went to Stratford to meet an uncle of mine and watch a few GA matches that were on. And after the matches were over, the Irish Brigade began to play. We didn't know they were playing or anything. It was just a stroke of luck that they were there. And the pub was very busy and noisy. And I could hear this song playing. And I was like, that's Black as the Colour. I was like, that is it. And then I was listening to the words. I was like, no, it's not Black as the Colour. And I was determined to find out what the song was, because the lyrics were so good. So I went back afterwards and I looked them up on Spotify and I heard them playing it. And the lyrics like that just hit me. It was a song I'd never heard before. I didn't know much about, but the whole story was there. You know, it was a fantastically written song, and just something I was like, I want to go and learn it. I says, I want to do. And I didn't really sing it that much until I joined the Rockabilly Rebels, and I said, yeah, I sing Maher Farrell, and they're great. This is a song that's always been requested, and none of us know. Let's see if we can do it. And I remember the first time I kind of did it in a big gig was in Alfie's and That Boy, and I sang the song and somebody requested it, and I said no problem, and we sang the song, and I'll never forget, the whole place just went quiet and everyone was just listening to the song. And for any musician that plays a gig in a pub, you know, it's very rare that the
happens,
pub will actually go quiet, you know. And to people actually to be listening and engrossed in the song, it was just, you know, you get such a feeling after it, and it's nearly indescribable to say like how much people enjoy that song and take it in and kind of just feel it. Like
basically the words of the song. I mean, that's what gets people. So it's really heartwarming song, especially here in Belfast.
It is. It kind of hits you straight away. Like there's no pulling back in that song. When you sing it, you kind of go full into it. And there's even twin cousins of mine there up in Kildare. And out of all the songs they've heard me sing and all the lives I've done throughout lockdown, it's the one song they keep asking for.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And they're only 9 or 10 years of age.
Seriously?
So for people as young as that to kind of love that song, it shows you what kind of you're onto a good one.
No, I think it needs to be sung by a girl, I think, because obviously I've seen a lot of bands with sort of fellas or lead singers and they'll sing it, and but I think just to hear a woman singing it. My friend of mine, Cara McCann, she's an amazing singer. We were to America in 2000 and 2001 with our new flute band, and obviously she would get up, she plays the guitar, but she would go up and sung that song maybe 2 or 3 times in a hall of like 1,000 people, literally just a cappella, and see like standing there just with no music, nothing, and the hall just completely silent, nothing, just all just listening to the words of that song. Like, it's amazing. So it is,
yeah.
So obviously,
it's one of them songs that really just hits the heart.
Yeah.
It really does.
So you gigged with them and for a couple of years, and then you moved out to Florida, right? So what brought you out there, and what did you sort of get up to when you were in Florida then?
So Florida was actually another big random experience. It was my friends I mentioned earlier on Strings and Things had been out there the summer before, and they had tagged me in a post that Florida were looking for some musicians to come out and join in Raglan Road Irish Bar in Disney Springs.
Right.
And I said, look, I'll apply for it. Why not? You know, you can't win if your hand's not in. Put in my CV or anything. And I got contacted back by David Hayes. So David would be a brilliant musician in Ireland, and he was kind of running the entertainment over there, and he asked could I meet him and kind of meet and have a chat, something very just like light-hearted. That's all I thought it was, you know, just meet and have a chat and see. And I turned up, he asked me could I meet him in Dublin, and I said no problem. And I turned up to this place in Dublin, and it was by pure chance I even had my fiddle, and I turned up and there was all these people, and I'm like, what's happening here? And they're like, you're here for the audition. And I had no clue that there was an audition. I was expecting to meet this person for a chat, you know. And I said, okay, this is okay, this is fine. And it was magic. I went in and I sat with David, and we had to chat about music and what I'd been doing and played a few songs with him, a few tunes, and I walked out. I was delighted and said that was a great 20 minutes, you know. And David got back to me and said, yeah, we'd love to be over. And sure, within a couple of months, I was over in Florida and we were playing on the stage in Raglan Road. Like it was a very actual. Once the decision had been made, it was a very fast experience.
So did they basically just hire you as a session musician? So were you over there playing with different musicians or were you joining like a part of a band, or what was that all about?
Yeah, so I was hired as like a single musician to be put in with a band. And I was put in with Aaron O'Grady and Ellen Daly first, who one brilliant musician from Canada and another brilliant lad from Cork. And then I changed and I ended up with Hannah McNeil. I think she's there on your live, and Blaine Curtis. Blaine's from Dublin and Hannah's from Glasgow. And we kind of formed the band then Fia Rua. And that was they were who I played with until March, until we were sent home. And we were on the big stage and we were on the patio stage outside, and you know, we were just put together. And you know what, I can't speak for the lads, but I think we fit very well together, and we all got on really well, and you know, we all got to live together, and
great.
There was a good group of Irish and Scottish musicians out there, like in dances. So it was a brilliant, mad experience. Very random again, but something I'd love to go back to. We had a great run of it until they cut us off.
Well, see, you mentioned there, so obviously COVID hit and you were shipped back home. So obviously then, so how long have you been back in Ireland now, right? And sort of music aside, what's your long-term plans? Is music what your long-term plans are then? Is that what you're planning on doing, or?
Oh God, Ro, people have been asking me this for years, and I still don't know no answer for them. Like I went to college to do media and communications. That was my passion. I wanted to be a TV producer, and kind of once I left college, I was straight off to Florida, and I was doing music. And then I kind of got in. I was like, God, I would do this for a living. You know, I'd love this, and I could see myself doing it. And obviously, then I got sent home, and then you came home, and there's no pubs open. There's nothing going on. There's nowhere to play. Like I've been home a year now, just over a year, and it's been tough, like not because I've been playing music for so long and gigging for so long in my own head anyways, that I feel like, what are you meant to do with the weekends? I never had weekends free. Now it's like Saturdays and Sundays. I hate them because there's nowhere to go.
Tell me about it.
There's nothing to do. They're just a menace to me now. I'm very lucky though. COVID kind of was very good to me. I was able to get home for some important things I wouldn't have been able to otherwise, I was able to get a job very close to home. I was very fortunate, and I'm back teaching now. I'm very happy about that, and I got to just kind of focus on some things that I never really had the time to do before. I've now started to do a teaching English as a foreign language course. So kind of my main plan is to travel. I just if COVID's taught me anything, I'm never going to take being able to travel for granted again. I was big into airplanes before, but I think I'm going to be Ryanair's new favourite from all this finishes.
So you're definitely not a home bird then, like? I mean, so basically, it's like you're just waiting on your next destination when you're going to head off again then, like, or?
That's the way it's looked. Well, at the minute now, I'm a home bird. This is probably the longest I've been home since I went into college. Yeah. But I've always been mad into traveling, like, and to travel playing music is the dream. I think it's every musician's dream is to be able to go off somewhere with a fiddle on your back and play to the people, like, and to have other cultures and to play with other musicians from around the globe and be able to share tunes and songs with other people. I think that's just what every musician's dream is to do, and hopefully when all this kind of calms down a bit, we'll be back able to do that again.
Yep. So you mentioned there that you've recently took up playing the bouzouki as well. So what is it about this sort of that's an oddly shaped instrument? Like, I actually didn't even, I thought I only ever seen these things in like medieval video or sort of film. I know you see somebody like playing one of the, I said, yeah, what the hell is that thing?
Yeah, in the Tudors or something.
Yeah, but I was in Glasgow about was it 2 years ago, and I was in Connolly's, and there's a girl there, Aileen, plays it in there with her sister. And she was playing it. I was like, what, just the sound of it. I was like, what the hell? That's a real strange sound of that instrument. So what has it sort of made you take up the bouzouki? And like, will this be your main instrument now then? Would it be? Because I've seen a lot of your lives and you seem to be starting off with the bouzouki, I mean, and continue playing it throughout the videos.
Yeah, the bouzouki is kind of, I actually know, not people know this, but I owned a bouzouki well before I owned a guitar. We went into a shop in Kilkenny one day and seen it, and I knew Andy Irvine played it, and I always did like the sound of it. And I thought, oh, I'll get that now and I'll make. And I didn't do anything with it for the guts of 10 years.
Right, just bought it.
Every time I picked it up, it sounded awful. I was like, oh, this is not how it's meant to sound at all. No. And kind of when I went to Raglan, I said, I'm going to bring my bouzouki now, and I'm going to focus on it. I'm going to get better at it and try and use it some more, because I love the tone of it. It's so light and so airy. And I think for any Irish and folk songs like that, if you can get that sound, that light and airy sound, it just brings a whole different tune to it, in my own opinion. So I focused on the bouzouki when I was in Florida. And yeah, I got better at it, but it wasn't until I came home and I actually had a half-hour Zoom class with Derry Farrell. Now, Derry Farrell is he is a mastermind on the bouzouki. Like, he's brilliant. And I was explaining to Derry, I was like, listen, I know where the chords are and I know how to strum and stuff. I said, but it's still not sounding the way I want it to sound.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get it to work. I was like, have you any kind of advice that you could give at all? And he goes, well, you play the fiddle, don't you? I said, I do. He says, well, play it as if playing the fiddle. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, any notes that you would play on the fiddle if you were backing someone else singing the song, played on the bouzouki. And kind of the procedure, and he just showed me like a demonstration of one of the songs, and it kind of just clicked in my head. I was like, yeah, okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. And from there on in, I just took everything with the bouzouki. I wanted to try all my songs and see. Now, I have to admit, some songs don't sound great in the bouzouki. They need that guitar, they need the kind of loudness and the bass and the guitar that they don't get from the bouzouki. So it's a trial and error kind of effect, which songs I can do with which. But I've really come to love the bouzouki, and kind of, I would be classing it as one of my mains there from now on. Kind of, you can get a guitar anywhere, but to get a bouzouki and to be able to sit down and play it with a song, it's not a well-known instrument. I'd love to get out there more because it is a fabulous sound.
Right, so we're now going to speak about the next sort of chapter in your musical career. Obviously, you're home now, so you are, and we're going to get into the making of Clover's new album in a wee second. But firstly, tell us a wee bit how you first ended up joining the lads from Clover in Limerick.
There was COVID kind of played a bit of fate there with us as well. I was home, and the lads were advertising they were looking for a musician, and I seen it a couple of times, and I kind of I didn't really look into it anymore. I wasn't kind of focusing on my music at that stage. I had other things going on, and then I seen it. I was like, wouldn't it be great to be back in the band and to playing a gig like the Imagine? So I said, look, I'll message the guys and see what comes out of it. And like that, the guys said, right, let's meet up for a chat and let's talk about it and see where we stand. And we played a few songs together, a few tunes to see how it went, and it went well. Like, the guys are lovely. They really are great guys, and they told me a bit about the band and kind of what they were looking for and what their plan was. And I was well into it. I was like, yes. I was like, sign me up. I'd love it. And the guys then mentioned that they were recording for this album the following weekend, and I was like, okay. And they were like, yeah, so we'd love to have you on. We'd love to be like this, me coming into the band with a new album. It would be a great launch. Yeah. And I said, right, okay, we're doing it. So we hadn't, it was a very flying off the seat, kind of, just winging it as we went. But we made it work, and we recorded an album with very little to no practice.
Well, that's what I was going to say next. Because obviously it sounds like just madness, right? Like they're going to record this new studio album, like that's been in the planning from what Paul told me for a good lot of years now. This specific album, and obviously you're going in for the very, very first time playing with them. So you are actually with the rest of the members of the band, and the way this album was recorded, it was recorded like live, only in a studio setting. So tell us like how like it was sort of playing with them for the very first. I mean, did you just gel straight away like when we first started playing the first song, or what way to go?
Yeah, like we started off with a few songs that I knew, because even the guys sent on the tracks on the album, a lot of them I never heard before. So when we started on a couple of ones that I actually knew and I was familiar with, and we got in it. And I have to say, from my own perspective, I'm very much class myself as a session musician. I like to sit in and back people, or kind of accompany people. So that wasn't so much of a thing for me once I was able to sit in with the guys. But still, when I think about it, to be able to come in with the four of us lined up, like playing these songs live, and have 85% of what came out in that album to be recorded one day between a brand new band with a brand new sound, it's a bit nuts, like. But that's just, and I think you have to look at it. That's the way it worked out. That was fate, like that. That wouldn't have happened only for COVID and hate and all the things that
Yep.
have gone. Like the guys tried so hard to get this album out before. There was so many things that kind of came in their way.
Yep.
And now they work like the way they'd say it. All these other times that it failed, it kind of been building up to this, and now they have it, and there's a brand new sound that they never even imagined it would be, and they're delighted with it.
Yep.
And we've heard some of the tracks, and they sound good. Like we're really happy with.
So
how it's
obviously,
kind of turning out.
Clover are like a predominantly rebel band, and obviously they don't make no bones about it. So obviously you're coming in from like a trad background. So is this sort of like bringing you out of your comfort zone a wee bit? Is it, or what way do you feel about that?
I wouldn't say out of my comfort zone. It's bringing me into kind of a genre that I don't know that much about, that I would not be that familiar with. I tell anyone that straight up. I got a taste of kind of rebel music with the Rockabilly Rebels, like I say, with a few like Mairead Farrell, a few of the songs, like Joe McDonald was the first time I would have heard that, was when Stevie Donovan would have sang it, and I love the songs. I think the songs are amazing, and I was mad to learn more. But like that, I don't know that much about the rebel scene. And kind of coming in with the guys, I said this to them, and they were like, "Listen, you'll be fine. Like you'll come in and you'll hear this and you'll fit right in." And I have to say they've been right so far. Even the last couple of weeks have been such a big education for me. I've had so many people recommending these kind of songs to learn because they've heard me on my live and they say, "Oh, this would suit you." And so even already, I've learned so many new songs that I never knew before, and even the songs in the album that I didn't know, I'm like, yes, like I love them. They're just fabulous songs. So I think it's more of an educational experience. I'd say if you ask me a year's time, I'll know a lot more about it than I do right now. But I think that's what it's all about. You know, you have to be willing to get out there and to learn new songs that you mightn't have ever thought of before.
So your first official gig with the band was a live gig on Easter Sunday. So you obviously all went to the Cork in the big hotel and like a big massive sort of empty room, but it went on obviously live on Clover's page and one of the bars in Scotland. So how was for you actually getting in and playing first for your first time in a proper live setting with the full band?
Yeah, it was very I'll actually I'll say it, I was actually quite nervous, and I didn't think I would be. I was quite nervous beforehand. Paul will tell you that. I was sitting there, I was like, I'm going up here now, and we sang the songs, and usually if you're at a gig and it's your first gig or you're nervous, you'll settle into it because the crowd will react to you. But for this, it was so different because
it's just a different setting.
Up there and we were we were given these big numbers, and it was sounding good, and we were all so confident that it was going well, and then you finish the song and there's just no response. You're standing there and you're like,
cheers, folks.
It's like having all this buzz and not being able to go anywhere, if that makes sense. But having said that, it was great for us to be able to stand up there and kind of get these songs out that we've been kind of running through or practicing, that to finally be able to play them in front of people, and then to even afterwards be able to go back and look at the comments and seeing like people enjoying it and stuff.
That's what it's all
it's
about,
not the same as before, but you know what? It's
the next best thing.
It's
it's
the next best thing, Ro. That's it, exactly. We can go back and we can hear about it afterwards.
Yeah. So let's now talk about Clover's latest studio album, right? So it's going to be released very, very soon. It's called No Criminal in Me, right? A recording dedicated obviously to the 10 Hunger Strikers, whose 40th anniversary is this year. So it is. So from what I hear, right, you were a sort of very last minute addition to the band on the album. So I'm going to be playing an exclusive first airplay, right, of a track from this album, right? It's the track we're going to be playing is the McElwee's Farewell the Black, of course, a track written by the great Jerry Glacken from the Irish Brigade. So, see, tell me about get into the actual studio to record this. I mean, how many songs do you feature on it? Are you only singing the one song, or are you?
I'm singing. Yeah, I'm singing the one song. I have backing vocals and harmonies on 3 or 4 tracks, and I'm playing fiddle on them and bouzouki. It's all quite varied. I'd say I'm featuring on all the tracks in some capacity. But it was the actual recording of it. Like we say, we did it live. We kind of stood up and we all played. And having said that, we hadn't a lot of rehearsal gone in, so I have to give a big shout out to Derek there at Docsworks. He was very patient with us because we'd sit there and we'd like, let's try that again. That wasn't the way it was going to be. Even just basic things as the chords, like you'd mess up something you haven't practiced that much. So Derek was really good to us. We were able to go back and start again, and he'd be like, yeah, no bother, and we cut it and we'd go on to the next track and we'd come back to it. But having said that, there was stopping and starting, but we got a good portion, a good majority of that done in one day. I'd say about 85% of it done in one day, and that's kind of what's coming out in the album. Then we went back afterwards and tweaked things or put in extra bits we wanted to put in, but a good a good solid majority of that is just one band standing up there together.
What I was going to say
playing
about
it together.
This song in particular, obviously, Paul told me that you sort of give each song about three takes for each song to record. But he had said this one here, was basically recorded in the first take, but give or take a few wee tweaks you had to do when it was mastered. But it was more or less the song was recorded in the first go. So it was, which is crazy to think.
We did, because Balahi we were kind of all worried about. I wasn't expecting to be singing Nathan on the album, to be honest. When the guy said it to me, I'm like, you know what, I'll go in, I'll back the guys in the album, put in a bit of extra musical lines for them, and you know, it'll be lovely. And then Paul said to me, he's like, listen, would you like to sing Balahi, because we've heard you sing it, if the slot's open there for if you want to do it. And I couldn't turn it down. I was like, that's brilliant. And went in, and this is the one I was worried about, because, you know, we hadn't practiced, they wouldn't have even heard my version. I've never sang the song without anyone else, but I haven't sang the song with anyone else. I've just sang it with me and my bouzouki. That was it. So I had to stand there, and we were playing it through, and the bass was there and the banjo, and it was just so mind-boggling. It was really kind of just, this is such a different song than when I ever sang it before. So we did the first take of it, and it was kind of like a potluck. We just sang it. I think we were all just so relaxed, because we knew we'd have the few takes. This one wasn't going to be the final one. We were very relaxed, and we just played it, and it came out pretty much like nearly enough spot on. We had to go back and change a couple of things, but you know, we were all very happy with it. We're like, that's class. And we did a second and third take, and we were like, the first one is
the one.
That's the one. Like, that's the one where we sound the most confident and most comfortable. And it's just, and I think hopefully that came across in the track itself. But we're all really shocked now at how kind of easily it went by. We were expecting a lot more pushback.
Yeah. So listen, Caoimhe, we're going to do the song now. But listen, thank you very much for coming on the show today. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on this afternoon.
Thanks very much for having me, Rob.
No problem. But so listen, I think I'm busy down to play at a couple of gigs that you go be at. So listen, I might be able to hook up you one of these days. Hopefully, have our paths cross. I'm going to be yarn. So listen, Caoimhe, thank you very much.
When they open up the roads again.
Definitely. Okay. So listen, Caoimhe, thank you, and I'll talk to you again. All right.
Mind
Cheers.
yourself.
No problem.
Be good. Bye now.
Folks, there you go. So what there was Caoimhe Maher, of course now from County Tipperary, and the latest member of Clover Rebel Band. So what we're going to do now is the very, very first track of the Clover's brand new album. It's their album called No Criminal in Me, and the whole album is dedicated to the 40th anniversary of the 10 Hunger Strikers, folks. So this track we're going to do, it is Farewell to Blackie, McElwee's Farewell. So it is. And this is, of course, obviously written by Jerry Glegan of the Ice Brigade. Fantastic tune. And when Paul first sent me this here, I said to myself, this is a new sound of Clover. Fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant. So, folks, here we go. This is Clover from their brand new album, No Criminal in Me. The very, very first exclusive airplay of any of the songs from the album. This is Farewell to Blackie.
Likewise Hamlet on the green hills of Derry that I dearly love. All my thoughts return to you from my dark age block side. Old friends and brave comrades, I bid you farewell. Hundreds of years now, we've kept up the fight, and the history books told me of Ireland's plight. So with gallant Frances, I follow their cause to conquer a tyrant and defy England's laws. Through the hills of South Derry we marched and we drilled. Through our exploits and actions all Irish youth thrilled. The most feared men in Ulster, volunteers on the run, we gave England our answer Hamlet on the green hills of Derry that I dearly love. My thoughts return to you from my dark age box now. Old friends and brave comrades, I bid you farewell. Oh, gallant South Derry, you're forever blessed in this struggle for freedom. You've given your best. There's Hughes and there's Bates and Sheridan and Lee. Oh, inscribed with their names now. Brave Tom McAwee. Oh, farewell to Malahi. Likewise Hamlet on the green hills of Derry that I dearly love. Oh, my thoughts return to you from my dark age box now. Old friends and brave comrades, I bid you farewell. Oh, farewell to Malahi. Likewise Hamlet on the green hills of Derry that I dearly love. My thoughts return to you from my dark age box now. Old friends and brave comrades, I bid you farewell. Old friends and brave comrades, I bid you farewell.
There we go there, folks. That is the brilliant Clover with Farewell to Blackie, McElwee's Farewell. That's from their brand new album, soon to be released, No Criminal in Me. And the whole album is dedicated to the 10 Hunger Stickers, folks, on the 40th anniversary this year. Absolutely fantastic, so it is. So yeah, Caoimhe, thank you very much. Great interview. And folks, I just want to say there was one wee comment come through there, and that it sort of deleted. Somebody had said, "Oh, this is too much talking." Listen, folks, I'm sure Laddie's been listening to this show for long now. This is a podcast. It isn't like a jukebox or a radio show, whatever. It's a podcast. I mean, a podcast is a lot of talking, a lot of music, and basically, sort of a bit of a mismatch. It isn't just me coming on here playing songs for 3 hours. So every 2 weeks we do interviews. So we do, folks. So that's the way it is. And if you don't like the interviews, listen, we'll just tune out. Don't be coming on and busy giving me abuse for too much talking going on. So that's from the first interview with Eamon McLaughlin last year. People loved the interviews, and I sort of say I'll try one and see how it goes, and everybody has loved them. So we're going to continue on with the interviews every 2 weeks, folks. That's the way it's going to be. So yeah, there you go. That was Farewell to Blackie. Fantastic song and great version. I'm really looking forward to hearing the whole album from Clover. So Caoimhe McCrory says, even the weight coach won't take your experience. Listen, there's I don't know what is going on here on the YouTube lineup. I wasn't even watching because I was doing the interview with Caoimhe, but all I'm seeing here is something about toes, and that seems to be what is the main conversation has been. So if we can get back to the talking about the show, folks, all right? So I don't know what was going on there. So let's see. Hannah Beth McNeil says, fair play. Geraldine Cowell, well said, love this show. James Devon McCleve, we love the interviews on the crack. Thank you very much. Shauna McKernan Whitaker says, well says, great interview. Edward Griffin, well said, if they don't like it, bye-bye. Listen, not sort of bye-bye, I'm just telling people that the interviews are going to be on, and I sort of do a lot of research, folks, into getting these people. I don't just pluck them out of the air, you know. So I want to get people on that I think people will be interested in hearing their stories. And I'll say like Caoimhe, she only is 23, but she's done so much in her musical career so far, and it's just a great story to tell, you know. Obviously next week we're going to have Mickey McNally on the show. Say normally it's go every 2 weeks, but just obviously the way it sort of fell, we're getting Mickey on next week. And see, Mickey has been on this scene for probably longer than I've been on the earth, so he has, you know. And he has a great story to tell, so we're looking forward to getting Mickey on. So it's Christine Maher says, yeah, well done, Caoimhe. Public lands, great stuff. Richard O'Connell says, don't listen to them. Keep up the good work. James Corder says, it's a good interview, mate, and brilliant people you have on. So listen, mate, we're going to do next. Obviously, we are waiting on the. Has anybody seen the lineup for the Celtic Rangers match yet? If anybody's can post it up, maybe, and we'll see. Somebody just said their James Forrest has been left out, which isn't great. I think he was getting a wee niggle or something. So we're going to do another Celtic song. No, we'll do this one first. We'll have it lined up. Right, so obviously Martin Heaney and Elaine, so it was 5 years ago yesterday that he proposed to her in the Rock Bar, and obviously Damien was playing the Ball of Grace, and Marty done a few wee words of the song in his proposal. So Marty, you big romantic, yeah. So we'll do this one here. This is for Marty and Elaine, and this is one of the songs. It's from my album, folks. The Rebs for Hope, the album. This is the great Kelly's Men from Derry with the Ball of Grace. And again, folks, if any of you were listening to the interview there, I think the problem with where it was sort of cutting out, it was maybe on Caoimhe's end, on her Wi-Fi, it was just sort of maybe not strong. I know it's definitely, because when I would listen, it was only sort of coming, the voice, the breaking was just coming from her end, so I think that's what the problem was. But we got the gist of it, is all the questions we got through in the end, so we got there. So we go. This is for Marty and Elaine on your sort of 5th proposal anniversary, as I say. This is the Ball of Grace from Kelly's Men, folks, on Rebel Sundays.
As we gathered in the chapel here in old Caoimhe jail, I think about these past few weeks. What will they say we failed from our school days? They have told us we must yearn for liberty, yet all I want in this dark place to have you here with me. Oh, grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger, to take me out at dawn, and I will die. With all my love, I'll place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, so we must say goodbye. I know it's hard for you, my love, to ever understand the love I bear for these brave men, my love for this dear land. And when me two sides joined in the GPO, I had to leave my own sick bed, to him I had to go. Oh, grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger, but take me out at dawn, and I will die. With all my love, I'll place this wedding ring upon your finger, there won't be time to share our love, so we must say goodbye. As the dawn is breaking, my heart is breaking too. On this May morn, as I walk by, my thoughts will be of you. And they're written on words upon the wall, so everyone will know. I love so much that I could see the blood upon the road. Let's hear ya! Oh, grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. You'll take me out at dawn and I will die. With all my love, I'll place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, so we must say goodbye. Oh no, there won't be time to share our love, for we must say goodbye. Thank you. Okay, Chris.
Well, a four-leaf clover on my breast, and a green and white upon my chest. It's such a joy for us to see that play football the Celtic way. It's been 10 years, long time indeed. We stand with pride, we took defeat. Our beloved team, our ancient ground, has been rebuilt at Lamprey Park. By the four-leaf clover on my breast, and a green and white upon my chest. It's such a joy for us to see that play football the Celtic way. McCanny Road, the winds have changed, and things he brought will not remain. A phoenix rising, a house of steel, and 16,000 Celtic dreams. While a four-leaf clover on my breast, and a green and white upon my chest. It's such a joy for us to see that play football the Celtic way. While the work is done and the stage is set, and the Celtic dreams can now be met in a sea of dreams. We're here to stay. Let's sit and watch the champions play. Let's see us all while the four-leaf clover on my breast, and a green and white upon my chest. It's such a joy for us to see that play football the Celtic way. While the four-leaf clover on my breast, and a green and white upon my chest. It's such a joy for us to see that play football the Celtic way. That play football the Celtic way.
There we go, folks. Damien Quinner live at the Rock Bar with the 4-leaf clover. Fantastic. There you go. And before that, there we had the Ball of Grace, especially for Marty and Elaine, who was their 5th anniversary yesterday of Marty getting down one knee in the Rock Bar. So, yeah, bloody romantic, yeah, Marty. Right, it's just been sent to Eamon Melly. Just sent me the team lineup here. So, cheers, Eamon. Here we go. So, it's Bain, Brown, Turnbull, Kenny, Christie, Edward, Elianusi, Ayer, McGregor, Welch, Laxalt, and on the bench, Barkas, Taylor, Beaton, Griff, Ayeti, Sorrow, Rogic, Montgomery, and Nelson. Had to say it there, doesn't fill me with great optimism. What's the crack with Sorrow these days? Not getting on, and they think Griff is by out in his ear here at the end of the season. Looks like he's going to either Hibs or Aberdeen. Crazy, but listen. You just think, okay, maybe don't do something. I think we maybe need this more than they do today. You know, our only chance getting some kind of silverware. So, listen, right. So, where are you, Carlan? See, Carlan, you hold out much hope for me here now. You asked, you don't think in getting your bloodstained bandage song, and I had it lined up next to it, but I think I just won't play for you now with their attitude. I'm only joking you. Listen, folks, by the way, anybody that's ordered any of the new merchandise, thank you very much. Got a few orders put through this morning and last week as well. There's now a new, obviously, design Rebel Sundays t-shirt. I've got new green, bottle green hoodies and bottle green t-shirts as well. They're all on the Big Cartel website, folks, so go and have a wee joke if you can. Say all donations and all, basically, anybody buys anything goes towards the show, so thank you. There's a Lane Nesbitt. Give him a day off, well, row on, then foodie, then more ribs. I'm cooking, then I get spoilt all week. Love this Sunday. There you go. Beaver says, I almost got banned for less cheek. Well, just jokes, me. It's all is a bit of crack. So, folks, again, if any is and Craigie is just jumping in there as well. So I see you using my new wee logo. Yes, so folks, you can see the wee spinny thing. Cheers to Craigie for making that for me. Much appreciated, mate. As always, fair play to you. If you are enjoying the show, folks, and you're enjoying the shows, like the interviews and stuff, drop a wee tip or donation if you can. You'll see the wee PayPal thing down there. Just scan it with your phone, QR code, or if you can just throw something in the PayPal, it's paypal.me/DJ Rose Show, which folks a lot of you do every single week. So thank you again. Right, so we're going to move on to an R&B tune. So this one is for Carlan McCrory. Who asked for this one? This is the Bloodstained Bandage from the Wolfhound on Rebel Sundays, folks.
A cold May morn was breaking over Dublin's weary town. 16 brave men have fallen to the rifles of the crown, because they loved their country and served it night and day. But before they faced the rifles, this is what those boys did say: take away the blood-stained bandage from off an Irish brow. We fought and bled for Ireland, and we will not shirk it now. We upheld her in her struggle, in an answer to her call. And because we sought to free her, we are placed against the wall. Ned Day, Houston, Culbert, McDonough and McBride, McDermott and the brothers Kent, with Clark and Plunkett died. McMahon, Pat and Lee Pierce, Mohan, Mahan and Kien, and the last of all James Connolly, this message to them send: take away the blood-stained bandage from off an Irish brow. We fought and bled for Ireland, and we will not shirk it now. We upheld her in her struggle, in answer to her call. And because we sought to free her, we are placed against
struggle in answer to her call. And because we sought to free her, we are placed against the wall.
So now the bloodstained bandies there for you from Wolfhound. I need to get another drink. This to say, folks, a little COVID jag got yesterday. It definitely has knocked me for 6. I'm beating this here water in me here with a few more tablets. If any I've had it, let me know how you got on. Maybe I'm just being a wimp, am I? I just spotted something on Facebook, by the way. Was somebody trolling or something? I was looking at something else and I seen all the comments. So, folks, if somebody is coming on and starting a bit of shit, just don't even engage with them. Don't do nothing. Just I'm not getting it. I've felt before if people start shouting and arguing back, that's when I end up getting a ban. And somebody reports something and they cut me off. So just don't. Let's see. Celine just says, waiting on payday to get some of the green merchandise. Definitely enjoying the show. Thank you very much, Celine. So where is this wee request here? Somebody asked me to play. Are you looking? What's that huge? Says, I beg your pardon. Are you looking at Rose Garden? That's the wrong show. So it is you if you're looking at their song. I know I play some random ones, but definitely not that there. I'm just looking for a request here. Somebody put through. John Boy McElhenney bought mine this morning. Looking good. Cheers. Yes, John, I've seen that coming through. Thank you very much, mate. Listen, folks, any that have bought the new green stuff, it's made the order. So obviously, I don't get it sent out straight away. I just have to send it to the printers, and it normally takes them a couple of days. So please bear with me. That's just the way that the stuff is, you know. If I was to go and buy all this stuff and have it in stock, it would cost me a fortune. I just don't have the money for it. So the way my merchandise works is once an order comes through, I send it to the printer. He's just down the road, and it's usually give it to me in a couple of days. So usually, if you order something, I've usually waited about a week for it, which is about right. So cheers. Your man says, where's the link to the big cartel? Right, I'll copy here in a wee second. I'll post it into the page, okay? But if you go onto my page on Facebook, the Rebel Podcast, it's on the top of the page. You'll see it there. So it is. Right, so where are you? So Lee Kerr says, can you play something and say so strong for Neil Lennon? Show him our support for the low life who video him at his lowest point. But listen, from what I've seen, that our video was last season, I think it might have been, because he was wearing the New Balance stuff in the video. But at the end of the day, listen, who hasn't got drunk and absolutely made an arse of himself in the beer and come out absolutely steaming? And listen, that our video there was some arsehole was basically getting a bit of grief, and for me, it was the person that was videoing it was in the wrong more than the guy that was getting them the grief. Because if it was me or somebody else, you'd have wanted, listen, mate, do one, leave him alone, will he? He's out of it, he's off his face, he's drunk, just let him go on with it. But it's the one videoing it, and then obviously uploading on the social media is the real rat here, so it is. But say, who hasn't been out and get blocked and like come out steaming out of a bar? Like we've all done it. So Neil Lennon is absolutely no different. So frig him. There's Colin McLaughlin on. What's the crack? How you doing? James Corbett. I got it 2 weeks ago, mate. Left me bad. Chest, lungs, near packed in. Sore over, but great now. Well, yeah. Hopefully that's the way I'm feeling now, mate. So it is, for God's sake. Right, so we'll go to a wee tune here from Kathleen Largy. We'll ask for something from her album every week. So this is from the album. Let's see, from The Price of Justice. This is Our Lads in Crumlin Jail, folks. Here we go on Rebel Sundays on YouTube, and we're all still on Facebook. So here we go.
Ireland's fight for freedom, boys. The North has played its part. Though the day has still to come, we've never yet lost heart. For we fight it out until the end. We fight for we cannot fail.
where I will run. You can't deny me, you can't decide to turn your face away, no matter, 'cause there's something inside so strong. I know that I can't make it, 'cause you're doing me wrong, so wrong. I thought that my pride was gone, oh no. Something inside so strong, oh no, no. Something inside so strong. The more you refuse to hear my voice, like I will sing. You hide behind your walls of Jericho, your lies will come tumbling. Then I'm a blessing time. You squander wealth that's mine. My light will shine so brightly it will blind you. 'Cause there's something inside so strong. I know that I can't make it, 'cause you're doing me wrong, so wrong. I thought that my pride was gone, no, no. Something inside so strong, something inside so strong, oh no, no, no. Something inside so strong. Brothers and sisters, when they insist we're just not good enough, but we know better. We'll just look him in the eyes and say, we're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway. 'Cause there's something inside so strong. And I know that I can't make it. You're doing me wrong, so wrong. Thought that my pride was gone. No, no. Something inside so strong. Our day is coming. Something inside so strong. Our day is coming. Something inside so strong. Oh, chalky heart. Something inside so strong.
There we go. Big and crunchy there for you with something said so strong. There's Ciara Griffin. Ciara Griffin says, has anyone heard Paul McCartney singing Give Ireland Back to the Irish? What's the story behind it? Brill song. That's the original Wolf-Tone song, is it? Give Ireland Back to the Irish. Colm Thornton says, please play Kevin Barry or Willie Mealy. Well, I already played Willie Mealy at the start, so we're going to do Kevin Barry here. I got no request for it on YouTube. There's Mags Walker's on. How you doing, Mags? Loves this song. James Devin McLeave says, I never get drunk. Well, I have to say, James, I'm quite jealous of you, seeing your pictures on Facebook over the last couple of nights, seeing over here in the north we still cannot go out for a pint in the bars when over there is the pubs are open. You're sitting outside in the beer gardens, and it's not nice to look at all, you know. Maybe just a wee bit jealous. So it is. Let's see, everybody's is now saying about the bloody the COVID vaccine. Derek Delaney says got shivers after 2-1, but grand the next day. Hugh Neal says, I had a splitting headache the day after and shivers for another 2 days. Yeah, mate, that's the way I should have been this morning. John Boy McElhenney says, Erngo Bra by the Wicks, please. Right, let's see. What we'll do up now. Yeah, just playing it there or something, say too strong. Or Carly McCrory, it says he had a lot of, obviously Lenny had a lot of hassle from the other dark side and remained from our own side. Shame on them. Selena says, I got the same vaccine as you, Rory, on Thursday. I was grand all day, and then during the night I was shivering as I have epilepsy. Had a couple of seizures as well. Jesus, that's not good, Selena. But yeah, there is a few side effects to this here thing, folks. But listen, it's hopefully you'll get through it. Right, so what we'll do next. So let's go to this one here for all the girls in Dublin. Audrey and all the rest of the sisters and stuff are tuning in Dublin every week. Thank you very much. They were looking a bit of Chris Carney. So this is from Chris's album, The Rare Old Times. And he's all over the song. This is Bees Wing on Rebel Sundays, folks. We're here for another 45 minutes before the big kick-off at 3 o'clock.
I was 18 when I came to town to call it the summer love. Burning babies, burning flags, the hooks against the doves. I took a job at the steaming way down in Calderon Street, and I fell in love with the laundry girl who was working next to me. Brown hair's exact around her face, and the look of half surprise, like a fox caught in the headlights. There was animal in her eyes. She said to me, oh, can't you see, I'm not the factory kind. If you don't take me out of here, I'll lose my mind. She was a rare thing, as fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, and she was running wild. She said, so long as there's no price in love, I'll stay. You wouldn't want me any other way. We bust around the market towns for picking down in Kent. We could tinker pots and pans and knives wherever we went. We're camping down the Gower one time and the work was mighty good. She wouldn't wait for the harvest, I thought we should. And I said to her, we'll settle down and get a few acres dug, with the fire burning in the hearth and bobbies on the rug. She said, oh man, you foolish man, that surely sounds like hell. You might be lord of half the world, no, not on me as well. For she was a rare thing, as fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, and she was running wild. She said, so long as there's no price in love, I'll stay. You wouldn't want me any other way. Drinking more in those days, and her temper reached a pitch, and like a fool I let her run. She took the rumbling itch. The lass had heard sweet sleeping off back on the Derby beats, with a bottle of white horse in her pocket, a wolf and at her feet. And they say that she got married once to a man called Romany Brown. Even a gypsy caravan was too much to settle her down. They say her roses faded, rough weather and hard goods. Well, maybe that's the price you pay for the change that you refuse. She was a rare thing, as fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, and she was running wild. She said, so long as there's no price in love, I'll stay. You wouldn't want me any other way. For she was a rare thing, as fine as a bee's wing, and I love her more than words could ever say. If I could just taste all of her wildness now, if I could hold you in my arms today, I wouldn't want you any other way.
There we go, folks. That is Chris Carney with Beeswing. And just as that's finished, we are off Facebook. We just got cut off Facebook there now. So we are, well, we've got what, 2 hours and 20 minutes. So that's not bad going. Can't complain too much, folks, can we? So listen, there you go, Chris. Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in today. Oh, here's my mother on now on YouTube looking for the sympathy vote. So she is. There's some young Eugene just commented there on Facebook as well. Busy is saying thanks for all the lovely comments regarding Gary, mate. That's not a problem. So hopefully we're thinking of you all, and hopefully he does pull through. So a few people had asked me earlier on, could I play some bit of Kevin Barry? I'll just actually look through the comments, see who it was. And we'll jump and see. Where are we? So yes, whether it was for Audrey and all the rest of the girls in Dublin, I won there, Chris Carney with Bees Wing. So who had asked me for Kevin Barry? Where are you? Just looking. It's way up here, the comments, so it is. I can't even see it. Listen, here we go. This is a bit of the Wolf Tones with for Kevin Barry for everyone that asked for it. So we've got another 35 minutes to go today, folks. So any more requests, get them on, and we'll see what we can do for you.
In Mountjoy jail, one Monday morning, high upon the gallows tree, Kevin Barry gave his young life for the cause of liberty. Just a lad of 18 summers, yet there's no one can deny. As he walked to death that morning, he proudly held his head on high. Just before he faced the hangman in his dreary prison cell, British soldiers tortured Barry just because he would not tell the names of his brave comrades and other things they wish to know. Torn and farmer, we'll kill you. Kevin Barry answered no. Another martyr for old Ireland. Another martyr for the crown, whose brutal laws may kill but can't keep their spirits down. Lads like Barry are no cowards. From the foe they will not fly. Lads like Barry will free Ireland. For her sake they live and die.
There we go. Kevin Barry there for you, and the Wolf Tones for everyone that asked for that one there. Let's see. There's Michael Scanlon on Yahoo. Ooh, how's about Old Chimford's Boys Against Bigotry studio version? Michael, have we, is it there on YouTube, is it? I'm going to look and see if I have it there. It's maybe on, let's see. Joseph McGow says, I requested that tune for me, my nephew Colm, who just landed to watch the match. See, Joseph, I knew it was somebody's nephew, but I couldn't see it because that was way on the comments. So it was, yeah. So, folks, I think the match is on Premier Sports today, so it is. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get a link to it because it's. I have it in the house, but I'm going to be staying down here for the next couple of hours to get ready for this wee stream I'm doing after the match. So what are we on? Just nearly 2:30 now. So another half an hour or so to go for you, folks. Cheers for everyone else for tuning back in on YouTube. As I say, we are. But we've been cut off on Facebook. But say 2 hours 20 minutes, can't complain. And we got a whole of Caoimhe's interview on Facebook, so that's good as well. James McLeod, yep, lost you on Facebook, but it seems like everybody else is tuning in, so that's good. So you know what happens now, folks, we're off Facebook, so it's no holds barred. So we're going to do this one, as you all know. This is our normal cheerio Facebook, hello YouTube tune. So here we go, Damien Quinn by the 18 Brits, folks.
Well, there was 18 Brits on the burnt white road, will-ya, 18 Brits on the burnt white road, down by the narrow water. For on that road there was a bomb, will-ya, 18 Brits didn't last for long, down by the narrow water. There were 9 mortars, came in the canteen, there were 9 policemen, nowhere to be seen. And the sergeant said, fuck it, they kicked the bucket. The day the mortars came into the canteen. Well, Lord Mountbatten had a boat, will-ya, Lord Mountbatten had a boat down by the Snago waters. For on that boat there was a bomb, will-ya, Lord Mountbatten didn't last for long, down by the Snago waters. There were 9 mortars, came in the canteen. There were 9 policemen, nowhere to be seen. The sergeant said, fuck it, they kicked the bucket. The day the mortars came in the canteen. Well, 18 Brits were blue to bits, will-ya, 18 Brits were blue to bits, down by the narrow water. For on that road there was a bomb, will-ya, 18 Brits didn't last for long, down by the narrow water. There were 9 mortars, came in the canteen. Were 9 policemen, nowhere to be seen. The sergeant said, fuck it, they kicked the bucket. The mortars came in the canteen. The day 9 mortars came in the canteen.
There's a wee song that put the words to quite a number of years ago. Nearly every other band has recorded this one. But sure, there's nothing like the real thing. Wee song called the Sam Song. Now for 15 years or more, with armalites and mortar bombs, thought I knew the score. Oh, but now we have a weapon we've never used before. The Brits are looking worried, and the choppers are flying lower. Shucky Ireland, sing up the rap. Of the rats and the sides in the sky. I started out with petrol bombs and throwing bricks and stones. There are 100 more lads like me, I never was alone. But soon I learned that bricks and stones won't drive the Brits away. It wasn't very long before I joined the ARA. Sorry, Ireland, sing up the rap, of the rats on the sides in the sky. Is it a bird? No. Is isn't a plane. No, it's super sad. Let's hear ya. Chucky Ireland. Sing it yourself. Up the rocks, the side in the sky. Well, then there came internment in the year of 71. The Brits thought we were beaten, that we were on the run. On that early August morning, they kicked in our back door, but for every man they took away, sure they missed 20 more. Jockey Ireland, sing up the rock, up the rocks, the side in the sky. I spent 8 years in the cages, a time to think and plan. Although they locked away a boy, I walked out a man. And there's only one thing I have learned while in a cell I lay: the Brits will never leave us. Not until they're shown the way. Sorry, come on now. Sing up the rock, up the rocks, the side in the sky. All through the days of hunger strike, I watched my comrades die. And in the streets of Belfast, you could hear the women cry. Well, I can't forget the massacre that Friday at Lochgall. I salute my fallen comrades as I watch the choppers fall. Sorry, Ireland, sing up the rock, up the rocks, the side in the sky. One more time yourselves here. Sorry, Ireland, let's hear the sidewalk. Sing up the rock, up the rocks, the side in the sky.
There we go. So the Sam song, as Jerry says, there's nothing like the real thing. Of course, that's the Irish Brigade there for you with the Sam song. Let's see, Terry Craney says, can you play the Salt Lake Symphony by Damien Quinn for Val, Dell, Joe and Carlan? Already had 2 Damien Quinn songs on today, but let's make it Salt Lake Symphony on by somebody else. So we'll maybe definitely do it there sort of because the big game's on very soon. My ma just said, your Uncle Vin has just landed, give him a mention. Well, Vin, how you doing? What's the crack? Good to see you up. Don't be coming up here now till this is finished, because no one knew you'll probably barge in the studio while the thing's still on. James McLeod says, I think you should follow Emer and come across to England, entertain us, show your brilliant show. Well, if Conor McLaughlin's listening, Conor, you know what to do. Get me on the bill there with Emer. I'd gladly go over to England, so I will. All gigs have to go through Conor, you know, the management now. Only joking. Here, it's something I'd love to do. I've been talking about trying to get it on over to Scotland, get a few gigs done, but we can't organise nothing until this whole thing is open and we're doing things again, so you never know. Martin Heaney says, Salt Lake 75 Will Tones, yes, so I think we're going to finish off the show with that the other day, so don't worry, that's what's going to be on. Neil Costigan says, Ro, do you have Sean Sands' album, Sands of Time? I don't think so, mate. Maybe see if it's on Wi-Fi. Mick Chimford, yeah, Mick, I'll have a wee joker on YouTube now and see if I can find that for you, okay? Right, so what I'll have lined up next. Right, who was looking back home in Derry? Let's just find this here. The little sniffles are coming now, buddy. Folks with this buddy Jag, telling you. Where are we? Yeah, so there's Carl McCroy says, can you please play Back Home in Derry for Joe, Dale, Rob and Nurse Ratchet and Harval. Yeah, so we'll go to this one here. This is a version sent to me by Colin Douglas from Porty Down. Of course, Colin, the lead singer from The Rising of the Moon. This is a wee version Conan just recorded himself in the house, in the kitchen, on his home, so not even the recording studio, just plugged his desk into the laptop and hit record, so it's not a bad version. This is Back Home in Derry, of course, written originally by Christy Moore. Written originally by Bobby Sands, beg my pardon. And of course made famous by Christy Moore. Here we go, Back Home in Derry, for all you crowd there, for against in Derry, for Joe, Dale, Rob, Nurse Ratchet and Val. Here we go.
1803 we sailed out to sea, out from the sweet town of Derry, for Australia bound if we didn't all drown. The marks of our fetters we carry in a rusty iron chains, and we cried for away. Good women we left in sorrow, as the mainsails unfurled and the curses we heard, English and thoughts of tomorrow. At the mouth of the foil, bid farewell to the soil, 'cause down below decks we were lying. Old Doherty's green woken out from the dream, the visions of old Robert dying. The sun had burnt cruel as we dished out the gruel. Down O'Connor was down with the fever. 60 rebels today bound for Botany Bay, and many will reach their receiver. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. I cursed them to hell as the bow fought to swell. Our ship danced like a moth in the firelight. White horses rode high as the devil passed by, taking souls to Hades by twilight. 5 weeks out to sea, we were now 43. We buried our comrades each morning, and in our own slime we were lost in the time of endless nights without dawning. His whole life in slavery, where the climate is raw and the gun makes the law. Neither wind nor rain cares for bravery. 20 years have gone by and I've bent at my bond. My comrade's ghost walked behind me. A rebel I came, and I'm still the same. On a cold winter's night you will find me. I wish I was back home in Derry.
Wrap the green flag around me, boys, to die were far more sweet. When there is noble emblem, boys, to be my winding sheet. In life I love to see it wave and follow where it led. But now my eyes grow dim, my hand would grasp its last bright shred. So wrap the green flag round me, boys, to die were far more sweet. When there is noble
hopes to meet you boys, and many's the well-fought field. When to our sacred banner, boys, the treacherous foe would yield. But now, alas, I am denied my dearest earthly prayer. You'll follow and you'll meet the foe, but I shall not be there. So wrap the green flag round me, boys, to die were far more sweet. With Erin's noble emblem, boys, to be my winding sheet. And though my body moulders, boys, my spirit will be free. And every comrade's honour, boys, will yet be dear to me. And in the midst of bloody fight, let not your courage lag, for I'll be there and hovering near beneath the dear old flag. So wrap the green flag round me, boys, to die were far more sweet. With Erin's noble emblem, boys, to be my winding sheet. So wrap the green flag round me, boys, to die were far more sweet. With Erin's noble emblem, boys, to be my winding sheet.
But the Wolf Tones are, if you have wrap the green wrap the green flag round, spicy for Marty and Siobhan Cahill, that one there. Let's see, loads of people are all busy saying, and I need to get on this, buddy, the bill with Emer over in England. Here, listen, folks, I'd love it, but Conor McLaughlin, if you're listening, listen to the people here, so they want to see, so get on the bill. And I can warm up for Emer and go afterwards as well if she wants. David Tempest says, booked our tickets for Emer in Nottingham. Ro, get yourself on that there gig. James McLeish said, booked tickets in Nottingham and booking tomorrow for Coventry as well in August. Happy days. Great to see Emer getting over here to England, all these gigs and getting herself out there. She well deserves it. So, Mick Chinford, if you're listening there, Michael Scanlon, listen, just let me know what song it was you were looking there again. Was it that there, the Boys of Bigotry one? Hugh, I thought that was the Clancy brothers too. No, definitely the Wolf Tones it was. Right, so what we'll do next, as you're all talking there about Emer, we'll do a wee track from her album, the album A Thorn in England's Side. Oh God, yeah, the nose is starting to go here now, definitely. So we'll go to this one. This is, let's see what track is it we're going to pick. Another song written by our dad Jerry, James McLeish. We want Ro, yo. Right, so this one is A Father's Blessing, class wee tune this year from Emer's album A Thorn in England's Side. And after this one we're going to do a tune for Mick Chinford. So Michael, just let me know again exactly what song it was you were looking. I think I found it on YouTube, but we'll double check. Here we go.
Children's laughter, children's tears, childish joys of childhood years, fondest memories of our once happy home. It's not death that brings the pain, I would face it all again, but it grieves me so to leave you all alone. Do the wee ones still sigh when they hear their daddy's name? Do they sadly ask you why I won't be home again? Oh, how hard it is to know I'll never see righted my young years of the shackles that have bound my native land. May they see the joys of life and not cruel civil strife, foreign laws imposed by brutal strangers' hands. Do the wee ones still sigh when they hear their daddy's name? Do they sadly ask you why I won't be home again? Oh, how hard it is to know I'll never see them grow. Let my dying bring for them a better land. Let them grow in love and truth. Let them blossom into youth, guided by their mother's loving hands. Let them cherish Ireland's pride, for this Joe MacDonald died. Let them know their father loved them and his land. Do the wee ones still sigh when they hear their daddy's name? Do they sadly ask you why I won't be home again? Oh, how hard it is to know I'll never see them grow. Let my dying bring for them a better land. Let them know their father loves him and his land.
If you come from Belfast town, Derry City, County Down, the Calton, Tulligally, or from Braid, you can come along and see the Hoys against the Higgins Tree. But don't you sing boys of the old brigade, as Fergus has said no, those tunes will have to go. These rebel songs no longer can be played, cause we've made ourselves a pact to polish up our act. So don't you sing boys of the old brigade. You can sing a big job round against the famine and the crown. The fields of Athenry just makes a great. You can sing Glendale's tone and you'll never walk alone. But don't you sing boys of the old brigade. Has had a say. A loyalist through and through, it has been said. He has made a lot of cash as he hides his orange sash, and he doesn't know boys of the old brigade. So it's no more Cross McGlen, up the Ra or Fenian men. Shot south of Garryowen must not be played. The broad like Rimmer has to go, take it down and say hello. And don't you sing boys of the old brigade. So children, mums and dads, do not sing where are the lads who stood with me when history was made. And don't sing oh Graham McRae and how you love to see the boys of the old brigade. I see in memories with you, a far off distant day. When being just a lad like you, I joined the IRA. Where are the lads who stood with me when history was made? Oh, Bramfree, I long to see the boys of the old brigade. Hills and forests that are called to arms was heard by one and all. And from the glen came brave young men to answer Ireland's call. It was long ago we faced the foe, the old brigade and me. And by my side they fought and died, that Ireland might be free. Where are the lads who stood with me when history was made? Bramfree, I long to see the boys of the old brigade.
There was in a mixed gallon there, Charlie and the Boys. That's when Charlie and the Boys are actually good. Unlike the sort of effort they're putting out now. There we go, Mick Chinford there for you. There we go. So Celine just says, amazing show. Thank you for a fab Sunday. Enjoy the match, everyone. Rob, hope you feel better soon, Hugh. Rory, I'm praying for your cousin Gary. I know, listen, it's going to be a tough couple of days. So, folks, yep, the match will be starting very soon. We're going to finish up with this song here for you all. So, this is the Celtic Symphony from the Wolf Tones. Thank you all for tuning in today. It's been great, so it has. So, I'll see you all back next Sunday. And we're going to have back at the normal time from 1 to 5 next week. We're going to have Mickey McNally. It's going to be in the studio next week, folks. Looking forward to that there. And again, if any of you can, drop a wee donation, please do, to paypal.me/DJ Rose Show, or just scan the wee QR code there down the front with your phone, and it'll bring us straight to PayPal. So thank you very much, folks. I'll see you all next Sunday, back same time, same place. Chucky Arla, here we go.
It was far across the sea when the devil got a hold of me. He wouldn't set me free, so he kept me sold for ransom. Na 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 na. I'm a sailor man from Glasgow town. I've roamed this world around and round. He's the meanest thing that I had found in all me days of wandering. Na 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 na. And I could see his evil eyes. Once then he took me by surprise. Take me to your paradise, I want to see the jungle. Na 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 na. Here we go again. We're on the road again. We're on the road again. We're on our way to paradise. We love the jungle deep. That's where the lion sleeps. For then those evil eyes, they have no place in paradise. Graffiti on the wall just as the sun was going down. I see graffiti on the wall of the cells, of the cells. Graffiti on the wall that says we're magic, we're magic. Graffiti on the wall. Graffiti on the wall. And it says ooh ah up the rise, say ooh ah up the rise. Ooh ah up the rise, say ooh ah up the rise. Ooh ah up the rise, say ooh ah up the rise. Ooh ah up the rise, say ooh ah up the rise. Ooh ah up the rise, say ooh ah up the rise. Ooh ah up the rise, say ooh ah up the rise. through each jungle deep. For the paradise that we did seek was no trip for the weak. They're waltzing with the natives. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. From the Amazon to Borneo, from Africa to Tokyo, to the darkest jungles of the world, but nowhere could I lose them. Na 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 na. Around in circles every way, he turned to me and he did say, I think you're leading me astray. I want your soul, me bio. Na 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 na. Here we go again. We're on the road again. We're on the road again. We're on our way to paradise. We love the jungle deep. That's where the lion sleeps. For then those evil eyes, they have no place in paradise. Graffiti on the wall, just as the sun was going down. I see graffiti on the wall. Up the cells, up the cells. Graffiti on the wall, it says we're magic, we're magic. Graffiti on the wall. Graffiti on the wall. It says ooh ah up the rock, say ooh ah up the rock. Ooh ah up the rock, say ooh ah up the rock. Ooh ah up the rock, say ooh ah up the rock. Ooh ah up the rock, say ooh ah up the rock. Ooh ah up the rock, say ooh ah up the rock. Ooh ah up the rock, say ooh ah up the rock.
At safi alligator Queens are slow Her tender rannikum They fudge face hair Shantir a shin share pasta Ni akbar Pansira not and got my Sabarnohel they gone their kill on was no sell they gone their scrape they love now be lit Charlotte carrying around of him.
You've been listening to Rebel podcast of Rory Carson. To listen to this and past episodes again, and to also check out future episodes, keep an eye on our official SoundCloud page. We are also available on all social media outlets. Just search Rebel podcast. Bhí sé bhgéisteach an sin is an fád cruúlaí Rebel le Rory McCarson. Le héisteach le seo agus hir hagran a ríis, agus na hagran atá le teach, caisúil ar siú ethical sugin ar SoundCloud, agus táid ar fáil ar gach cinneal ardan ar na main thuisiilta. Ní mór ditch ach fád cruúlaí Rebel a curda.